money never change up. All my niggas 10 toes down. All my niggas 10 toes down. They stay down till the game up. Cause real niggas don't change up. You niggas got it twisted. Just cause I pray for my city don't mean I didn't used to tear it up. I ain't really been saying much, cause I've been trying to get my paper up. I just cannot sit in silence while they terrorize us with violence. A lot of this shit wouldn't happen if more of our leaders were silent. You ain't shit without extendo. You niggas never been 10 toes down. I'm tired of all the
Talk to me now. What did y'all see? Let me send Pan this link, man. I don't see
Hey
it,
man, that song right there was fire, bro. That was a
Shout
dope
out
song.
216 Band, man. That ain't no AI. That's my homie right there. Yeah. How y'all feel about what y'all saw tonight? Who we gonna start with? Who popped up here first? King J, GDN.
I think Capone was up here first.
Yeah, Capone was up here first.
Okay, there we go. He got the link. He found it. I'm about to actually have to step out here in a second, y'all gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Hold it down, and then I'll be back at like 1
You
o'clock.
all
I
good,
don't know if
Brody,
y'all
you
will
all
still be
good.
live. Hopefully y'all will when I get back. But yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Real humble. You can hear me, Sam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sweet. Good shit, Pan. Good, great win, Pan. But I will say this. When I jumped on and I saw that the brother presentation, I said, whose presentation is this that says not proved? Immediately after that, the brother's presentation stopped working. I swear to God. So I don't
Yo, what time?
I don't know if that was God or what, but
won't he do it?
Look,
hey Pan, won't
We
he do it?
say, hey yo, my man King J funny. He said, I don't know if that was God or what. Hey yo, King J, you gotta stop it, bro. You got to be stopped.
I'm sending you these
Can't
interview
imagine.
questions on Facebook.
Hey yo, I just wanted to. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I was he came up here, but y'all heard that last thing he said about me switching up to proof at the end instead of evidence. Like that, son. Yo, he was making that up, bro. First of all, the thing that you mentioned, King J, about the no proof slide, I started with that. But first of all of my slides was already made like a week or two ago. You know what I'm saying? So as far as me changing up something for him is crazy. But the problem is evidence and proof really is the same thing, and he didn't have either. You know what I mean? It'd be all right though.
you can. There's no way you can prove your God. That's like so subjective. Just on variance of personal experience alone, right? Cultural lenses we may look through God at. I just see God as a very abstract concept. Even the way that we communicate to God through our thought, through our prayer, through our ideas, are through very abstract ways. So I just don't think that's something that you can actually prove, right?
Right. And that's what the scholars that I was showing, mind you, I had to sort of rush through a lot of them at the end, but hopefully the judges get a chance to pause on those. But that's what a lot of everybody, all of the believers, that was scholars and experts, scientists, all of them say, it's faith. It's not about evidence. You know what I'm saying? And even the lay believers, the regular everyday believers on the street would tell you. You know what I mean? That's why I mentioned Granny Pan. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's really not about evidence. Even my opponent has chosen. He in our face off. He said he chose to become a Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And he believes in all the other ones, but this is the one he chose for him. And it's like, dude, like that's fine. I'm not sure why folks feel like they gotta provide. Say that they got evidence that they know that they don't have. But I'm definitely willing to take them in the ring and show them that they don't.
Mm. What would you say to this to the people who go through different schools of thought? Would they say that the school that they thought they graduated from before was untrue, and then they learned something that changed their understanding? Or
Well, wait, be more specific when you say that. I'm not sure if I
Well,
understand.
I'm just suggesting as people grow through their, go through their different schools of thought and learning and education, they learn more. What they thought at that time may not have been true or just true at that moment to, their level of understanding
Hey
at that
King,
moment.
Well,
like
yeah,
bro, you
two.
like cutting in and out a little choppy a little bit.
I'm talking.
I did
Okay,
hear the question though.
Yeah, you
Hold on,
super
I did hear that
choppy,
question
bro.
though.
You super
So
choppy.
two things. I hope that for Brother Emmanuel, I hope he gets a chance to learn and and grow, right? But that's actually the point that I was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if everything, we can't say that everything written in ancient times is true because of that very fact that you mentioned. People might change what they believe along the way. So, and we have documented evidence of people changing their beliefs, right? As far as like
Right.
Canaanite religion splitting off into the Israelite religion and things like that. So and then the many iterations of that. So it's just, again, the evidence for God, I can't front. I knew I was, this was about to be an easy topic for me. I didn't even want to take this. Anybody that saw our face off, I was trying to take any goddamn thing but this. But
Get it in there, GD and Capone. Get it in there. What's up?
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace to the panel. Good debate. I didn't see all of it. Well, I didn't see the beginning of it. I got on like right before the brother started having technical difficulties. I think that's probably like mid-second round. But what I kept hearing from one of the debaters, I think he on the panel, right? Pandemus. You kept saying that data isn't evidence. Right, and I guess in the comments you said you provided a source for that. But I just want to read this right here, right? It's several different types of evidence. You got physical evidence, you got testimonial evidence, documentary evidence, demonstrative evidence. Now this is something you talk about data. This is dealing like with statistics, graphs, diagrams, charts, X-rays, and trace evidence and expert witness evidence. So what you just said, the whole point that the whole argument that you was making around data isn't evidence, which is that's actually untrue. That's false. Data is evidence. This is why when a lot of people try to prove things, like for instance, the Pythagorean theorem, right? They find new proofs for the Pythagorean theorem as a mathematical constant. So they have to draw out a diagram to prove it. So it's the same thing with writing, right? People wrote things down, especially in their own native language, because their words, their language show value, mathematical value, and natural value as well. So you saying that data isn't evidence, that's false. Data is evidence. Our DNA is evidence that we exist on this earth. That's data. So I'm
okay. So just real quick, so you said a lot right there.
Go ahead, Brody.
My bad. I'm sorry. What you saying?
No, I was saying you get to respond. Go ahead, respond to him.
Okay. So you said a lot right there, but the crux of my argument is foundationally true. Data is not evidence. So what I showed was how people, in science as well as in law, come to call something evidence. The list of things that you just got finished listing with the words in front of it, I can't remember everything you just said, right? But like documentary evidence, whatever evidence, it becomes evidence when it's proven to be valuable to a question. Right? It can't just be evidence just because it's presented. That's why I presented the Ravens paradox. A green apple can't just be evidence that all ravens are black, right? Because although it would support the claim, it don't once you find out that there's white ravens, right? So you the things that you listed, even in a court case, right? When they say something is admissible in court, it don't even make it to that level until it's already been proven to be valuable to the case. You feel me?
I agree with that. I agree with that, Pan, real quick, and just to build kind of.
1 second, King J. 1 second, King J. Let Pan land his plane.
Okay, I thought he had landed.
Got you.
Oh no, I'm there. I'm gonna go ahead.
All right, you land your plane.
Appreciate that. Yeah, just to kind of, because what would you say if I suggested that? Because I would actually say that data is basically neutral, right? Because you can use the same piece of evidence for two completely different arguments, right? So it just depends on the context you're using the data in. I would just say that the data is the actual collection of the facts. So and it's actually would be neutral depending on the context in which you're using it.
Right, you got to put it in context.
Let's get really fast, y'all. Let's get Prince Iman in here. 3BY, what's up, Prince Iman?
Yo, I think he's still a little swollen, so I think his jaw hurt a little bit. He'll be all right. Let him get his mic off the shit.
Oh, wait. That's Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had to shorten his name. You know, L is something related to God, so he had to cut that shit off for the after party.
So Capone, what
so
you
say? I got another question. for
Capone. Wouldn't you say that hurts your argument?
No, it doesn't.
And validates that
you have to put it in context, and the brother put it in the proper he put that data in the proper context.
I put it in a proper context. I just spoke last and I explained it.
No, I'm talking about the debate. I'm not talking about you.
Well, we're talking about it right now. So what you just suggested, Capone, was that data wasn't the evidence, right? So when I just gave you the example of how data is neutral, to where it can be used for either opposing argument, that's the subjectivity to it. If you can use the same piece of data for different arguments, it shows that that's not it's subjective.
That's why I said you have to. That's why you even said you have to put it in its proper context. And what I'm saying is that's what the brother did with the data.
Proper context.
Let me finish. That's what the brother did with the data that he presented. He put it in the context to prove his point.
He put it in his context, right? So Capone. Now, if the opposing person uses the same data and puts it for his argument and proves his point with it, that's subjective.
There's nothing that I brought out. There's nothing that I brought out as evidence that could have been used.
No, that's called data being neutral.
Hold on 1 second. Let Pan get in there. I think he was just speaking. What you say, Pan?
Oh, that was Emmanuel.
Oh, go ahead, Emmanuel. My apologies. Go ahead, Emmanuel. What you were saying?
Yeah, I was just referring to King J because I actually do agree with what he was saying to a certain extent, but I also agree with what GD and Capone was saying about my delivery with the evidence. Because what I'm saying is the way that I brought it, it can't be neutral after I deliver it that way. How could it be used against me? Because
that's a belief. You believe.
No, I'm saying, how can it be used against me? How can the data be used against me?
I'm going to ask Penn.
Not about used against you. It's about being used to make us a separate point. So I had a slide in my debate.
That's what I meant. Like either however you want to word it, you was doing the debate. You reworded.
I had a slide in the debate that said that if evidence can be used for all gods, it's not evidence for any god, right? So you have to have something that differentiates that.
Wait, hold on, what?
That's according to you saying that there's only supposed to be one God.
What he just said, that's a non sequitur. What he just said. Say that again. Evidence for all gods. What'd you say? Evidence for all gods. Evidence for God can be used for all gods. That means that the conclusion is that there's no God. That's a fallacy.
That's not what I said. That's the problem. Both of you need to pay attention. That's not what I said. So let me read it to you. Hold on, Humble.
Hold on, KJ. Let Pam respond. Go ahead, respond to that. Pam.
Give me 1 second. Because the problem is y'all got to start paying attention. You know what I'm saying? We can't have this conversation if you're not hearing what I'm saying. The thing that I read said, not everything presented counts as evidence. Only what is relevant, admissible, verified, and meaningfully discriminates between explanations is accepted. Everything else is excluded. If a claim supports every god, then it supports none, right? And that's what he just said. If the same data can be used to support a different god, then it cancels itself out. You need to have something that differentiates.
Wow!
But hold on. But every god, if the claim supports every god, that just means that they all talking about the same thing.
No.
But you know they're not talking about the same thing.
No,
That's
that,
not,
no,
you're not
no,
even.
you don't
This is what
know.
I'm saying.
You
Wait,
don't
slow
know
down.
that they.
Let
Hold
me,
on, hold on.
Hold
Listen,
on,
you don't know.
one mic. Hey,
You
Capone,
don't know
go
that
ahead.
they.
Then we going to Emmanuel.
Hold on. You don't know that they talking about the same thing, right? I
no,
mean,
that's not what I
you have
said.
no listen. This is what I mean. So if they all are saying that there's an invisible power that created the very existence of our universe, and they have different names and different mythos behind them, that just means that, but they all are saying if you take all the Pacifics out of it and all the mythos, you can get to one single point that something
No,
created the
Capone.
universe.
That's what makes
So
it an
You
abstract
got to take stuff
concept,
out of it.
brother.
what?
That's what makes it the abstract concept.
No, you got. So I'm saying if you be just, I'm saying just be objective, right? And what are these people saying? They're saying what? That the universe had a beginning. Science even tells you that.
That's
Not
theology.
everybody's
Physics
saying
tells
that
you
though.
that.
That's an
Hold on
idea.
1 second, y'all. Before
And
all
if
y'all
it
get
had
in
a
there,
beginning, it's something that
Hold on,
began it.
Capone. Hold on. Hey, Emmanuel, get
Oh,
in there, Emmanuel.
you gotta let me go, man, bro.
Emmanuel got
You
beat
just
up. He
went
ain't got
like
too much to
10
say.
minutes.
You gotta let me put these people against the wall, humble man.
Emmanuel
Stop
ain't got nothing to
saving
You
me,
say.
went for
bro.
like 10 minutes, bro. You gotta learn how to be concise, my guy.
Man, I am concise, bro. You gotta let me push these niggas against the wall, push these brothers against the wall, bro.
Capone,
For
you ain't got
real.
But
nothing
Go
it's
to
gonna
ahead.
come
say.
back
Go ahead.
around to
Y'all
you.
got it.
Bro. It's gonna come back around to you. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, King J said I couldn't tell if he said I should have more to say or I don't got nothing to say. Which one did you say?
I said it seemed like you didn't have anything to say in regards to the topic because you kind of got beat up on it.
Oh no, I mean I'm open for whatever. I definitely don't believe that I got beat up on it.
You
I
think you
believe
won the
that
debate?
I believe that everything that I brought got deflected or I followed the topic of the
Got him
debate.
again.
No, I'm trying to listen to you, brother, for real, but you keep breaking in and
Yeah, you
out.
going in and out, Emmanuel.
But if they
Yeah, he
have
breaking up.
documentation of people that say that, hey, I encountered God, then it would
Okay.
make more sense for me in a modern time to say, oh, okay,
So
I can
let's stay
this
right there,
story. I can
Emmanuel.
believe this illustration, not just me vainly doing it. It's because of the documentation.
So with that being said, my brother, is there any falsibility in that?
Falsifiability.
Yes. Can I
Yes.
prove that? Could I prove that wrong?
Is there falsifiability? I wouldn't say falsifiability. I would say in some cases possibly ambiguity, but I wouldn't say that that's the same thing.
So how can I verify that? Like for instance, internal sources, right? How can I verify something that happens in somebody else's minds and tell them that it didn't happen?
Yeah, so that's the thing. When you talk about in their mind,
I can't.
No,
Hold on,
no.
KJ, you gotta let him respond.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you say in your mind, that's not according to my understanding of the biblical text. And when you go according to the biblical text, a lot of these events were happening physically in person, not
divine revelation.
mentality.
When I meant like divine revelation, like Moses. I mean,
yeah,
like
but
not to say Moses.
I get that, but encounters like Moses. What about what Moses encountered at the top of the mountain? What about that?
Can we talk about Paul? Will be a better example. I would say Paul.
I don't want to just deflect. I think we got a perfect example according to the debate
Moses
topic.
was a perfect
Because if
example.
We got a primary source.
Moses
if we got a primary source, right? If we have a primary source,
because Moses talking shit about he see all the backside
saying,
of them, so that might not be too good.
No, but really fast, Emmanuel. Hold on 1 second. Let me count when I say this. The reason why what y'all are talking about now is a perfect example is because when Moses went up to the mountaintop to talk to God, nobody else went up with Moses.
Okay. It's in the personal experience.
Hold on 1 second, KJ. Hold on. I got y'all too, but I'm just explaining why that's a perfect example. Nobody went up the mountain with Moses to verify if he was actually talking to God or not. So That's why this is a perfect example, because now we have to ask the question: how do we know that Moses was actually communicating with God?
Exactly. We don't.
So that's why this is a perfect example. Go ahead, get in there, y'all.
We can't verify that.
So what? So where the stone tablets come
Hold
from?
on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. I think Emmanuel trying to say something. He just breaking in and out right now. You gotta get your mic together, bro. Oh, he dropped out. Go ahead, Capone. When Emmanuel come back, we'll let him get back in.
No, I was saying y'all ain't got to answer it right now because I want to ask the brother a question. But I was saying, where did the tablets come from? That's for y'all. But to the brother Pandemics, right? Would you say that the universe is intelligently designed, or you disagree with that?
No, in fact, and that's what I'm saying, though, bro. Like in the debate, I not only had one slide, I had 2 slides on that saying that there's no evidence saying that the universe is intelligently designed at all. That's a teleological argument, which has been debunked multiple times.
Who debunked it?
I mean, for decades, bro. It's a watchmaker argument, bro.
I'm saying who debunked the universe not being intelligently designed? Because if you're familiar with the CMB shows where the first light emits and then it spreads out and end up forming all these stars and galaxies, and it goes through a whole process, right? That's not done. That's not done by itself. Like it's forming the natural state of the universe from that light.
Right. Really
I'm not even being funny. Hold on, Humble. Hold on 1 second, Humble.
After you.
I'm not even being funny right here, Capone. But you see how you were a little bit when you were saying that? The reality of it is none of us know enough about it to really explain it like that. And the scientists
I know a lot about it.
Hold on 1 second.
Trust me, bro. Listen, the scientists that you're trying to quote right now will tell you that they do not know for sure how anything started. The only people that say they know for sure.
I didn't quote any scientists. Hold
on 1 second before y'all get back and forth. Hold on, because I do want to say this.
Because he keep doing it. Hold on, bro. You gotta let me go, bro. Yeah, you just let them go back and forth. Come on, man. Go ahead.
Let you get in there, bro. I do want to say this though. We have to define what we classify as intelligent, bro. Because just because chemicals work properly and they create something else, that doesn't mean that's something intelligent that's going on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to define what intelligent design is.
That's a chemical reaction to me.
That's a chemical reaction. So if we're saying that
same chemical reaction happens when babies are born,
then hold on. Go ahead, Capone. Go ahead. Give me 1 second. Y'all. Go ahead, Capone.
No, I was just saying that same chemical reaction, what y'all talking about, nuclear fission, right? That's the same thing that happens when the cell divides during pregnancy.
Yeah, but Capone, that's not according to your Bible.
Now, was it intentionally for you to impregnate this woman, or
are you ain't let him say? Wait, Jay, King Jay, wait a second. Let him finish, and then make sure you ask that question.
You know what I was trying to ask him.
Yes, I do. Go ahead, Capone. Finish what you're saying.
No, like I don't restate it. So I said that same reaction, which is you talking about nuclear fission, how stars are born. That same process is in mitosis when the cell divides upon the woman's pregnancy. Now the question is, did someone intentionally impregnated this woman, or was that a random encounter?
So now, Capone, so you're saying that's how, so you're not saying that according to your mythos in regards to the Adam and Eve story, right? You don't believe that Adam was born as created as a fully developed man with no belly button, and Eve was created from his.
Wait, hold on. What you talking about a belly button for? Does the Bible say anything about a belly button?
Well, most people from observation, I've only seen children born from the womb with attached to a belly.
But what I'm saying is, does the Bible say that he didn't have a belly button? So why would you bring that up?
Well, the Bible says
this is the problem.
How old was Adam when he was born?
Hold on. Let me make this statement. King J. King J, let me make the statement. See,
just-
this
Other
is the
question is, why
problem.
are
A
you
lot of y'all
focusing on
has
the
a
belly button?
romantic. A lot of y'all has
Why
a
are you focusing on the belly button?
He's
Focus on the
deflecting.
rest of the question.
He's deflecting.
Oh, now, so when he just throws, so when he just gish gallop and just throw a
No,
red herring in there, I'm supposed to
fuck that.
just
He's
keep, I'm
wilding
supposed to
about
still
that. That's
listen to
wild.
him.
The belly button was what he was wilding with that. Fuck that. Answer the rest of the question.
All right, he didn't answer it. I cut
Yeah,
him off. Go
I
ahead.
had dropped out for a minute, and King J, I was saying that you falsify something if you want to do so by the primary source.
Mhm.
So when you deal with the primary source, dealing with the story of Moses, you can't falsify the belief of God.
So
Or
it's
that
the
that's
but if the
evidence,
primary
because
is
there's an
faith,
encounter. My bad. Go ahead.
if the primary is faith, right? Faith is subjective. So like when like the way you encounter your deity, I said earlier, is through thought, through prayer, and through ideas. Those are all abstract concepts, right? That
So
we
you saying
can't,
nobody
that we can't,
witnessed?
because we can't. Your God has no physical body. Nobody can touch it. I can't weigh it. It doesn't occupy a specific space. This is all subjective things. So when you're trying to make an objective argument, I don't see it. Where even so, I mean, like your faith is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
What does faith mean? Did y'all define that?
What does space mean?
Yeah, because y'all keep saying faith like faith is just belief, and faith is not
My
just
thing is,
belief.
if the Bible says that Abraham
Faith
seen the
is
Lord
belief.
and he looked like
No,
a
it's
man,
not.
who's to say that he didn't see the Lord? That's what I'm saying. Like how
Well,
you
according to who?
falsify that primary source?
Well, what question, brother? Because according to him, he wrote it.
That's what
He
I'm
went up-
saying.
he went
So
up to
how
the
do
mountain
you
by- wait.
falsify it? That's
Wait,
you
you're-
falsifying a personal.
Let me. Your question. You're saying how could it go according to the man who went up to the mountain by himself and wrote the story?
People seen it.
Huh?
People seen it. Let's not act like nobody
People
else seen it.
seen what?
Everybody seen Moses go up to the top of the mountain. They seen
according to the story that
flashing
he
lights,
wrote.
the smoke.
According to the story that he
Which
wrote.
is the primary source. Y'all keep trying to say that he wrote it, but that's the primary source. It don't matter.
Can I say something?
Right.
Can I say something? Wait, I
Real
want to say
fast,
something.
real fast. Get it in there, Pat.
Okay, listen. First of all, according to the story that he wrote, but the reality of the situation is that same story writes about his birth and death, and that's according to the story that he wrote. That's ridiculous. So when we talk about falsifying something, what's the probability of somebody being able to do that? That's very low. As a matter of fact, it really don't make sense that can happen. So we start looking at it. As a matter of fact,
according to Pan, you're saying
hold on,
Abraham
hold on.
Pan didn't land his plane. Let Pan land his plane.
The term that we use, mosaic, right now means a conglomerate of things or a grouping of things or a collection of things. Why? Because Moses was, you know what? Go ahead, say what you want to say.
Wait, hold on. Define mosaic. Hold on. Don't let him get off. Hold on. Listen. Don't let him run from that.
But
define mosaic.
You can say that after he finishes. All right,
go ahead.
Well, we know
he want me to define mosaic. I just said I gave a layperson's this definition of mosaic means a collection or a conglomerate or something like a collage, even, you know what I'm saying, or puzzle pieces that's from different places. And yes, I was making the implication that the books of Moses was put together by somebody else and not necessarily by somebody named Moses. So this whole suspect story is under scrutiny. So it can't be used as evidence because we know
we was talking
too much about its. We know too much about its composition.
How can you write
we know too much about its composition to sit here and play talking about he wrote it. So it's about his own story. We know too much. So that's how you falsify it.
I'm gonna be quick. So when you're looking at a mosaic is in art. When you're looking at a mosaic, it's like a different arrange of patterns and stuff. Like you don't really see the full picture. You have to step away to see the full picture. That's what a mosaic is.
That's not what it means.
That is a mosaic. How you gonna tell me that it's not a mosaic? A mosaic is when you up close and personal.
I'm sitting here.
So when you looking at,
I'm saying it loudly.
Looking at
wait, bro.
What's his name? Jacques Bunk.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm telling you because first of all, I'm looking at the definition right now, right? But I'm also, you talk about how can I tell you? I'm telling you very loudly and seriously, bro. It's a decoration on a surface with multiple designs, closely set, usually variously colored, right? A collection of things, and you can move on to call that shit a composite or a collage. You know what I'm saying?
But how do you see the full picture?
Those are both examples of mosaic.
You have to step away from it.
Those are both examples of mosaics.
But you have to step.
You're not listening, and that's the problem.
Bro, I heard your definition, bro. I heard what you said.
So you keep saying that
you said the same thing that I said.
One mic.
No, you keep saying that you have to step back.
Yeah, why do you think you have to step away to see the mosaic? It's just
to see the full design of the mosaic. You have to step away. That's why. Okay, I'm gonna bring up a source. Go ahead.
Yeah, pull it up because I've never heard of that.
He's trying to use the example of the one type of mosaic that he can think of in his mind that's gonna fit his story. The reality of it is I gave him 5 other ones. He's not listening. He's not listening at all. I just gave him an example. There's a glass mosaic. Wait a minute. There's glass mosaics that have no image at all for you to step back and see a full picture of. Right? There's paper mosaics. There's like I said, collages where you could put pictures in there or not. A fucking puzzle is a mosaic. It's an example of a mosaic. So there's multiple examples of mosaics. But what believers like to do is to find one little thing like a belly button, stand on that, and try to dance around on that. What I was saying was the mosaic. The word mosaic come from Moses because of the way he conglomerated them goddamn books together, and it wasn't necessarily a single person. Move forward.
Right.
Yeah, but what I said was Abraham. If the Bible says
really fast, y'all. We got Brother Herc on the panel. What's up, Brother Herc? Did you see the debate, bro?
He probably stepped up.
Hey, yeah, I saw it. It was good. Good job as usual. I figured that told you I had my money on Pandemics because when you guys arguing these Abrahamic religions, man, it's hard for you to prove it because you're basically going off like he's saying, you're basically going off belief and what other people were saying back then when you can't even prove what they was doing. Like you're saying Moses up at the mountain, but who witnessed it? You know what I'm saying? Like he came down with all these. I thought that as a kid when I read that. It's like how we know he didn't just make that shit up.
The scripture don't say the people witnessed it.
I was just saying, as a kid, it's like I thought, like, well, how you know he just didn't make it up as he came down? You know, when he came down from how we know? Because then they say that he dropped one of the tablets, and then it was like, yo, okay, well, it wasn't like, wait a minute, we got to rewrite this joint.
Then he had to go back up and get it some more.
So yeah, I mean, like it definitely comes. I think it comes down to like it's hard to because you're pointing to the stories that were written inside, whether it's the Bible or the Quran or the Talmud or the Jewish whatever it is. You point to those stories, but when you don't have outside evidence for the stories that are outside, you know what I'm saying, something outside of.
Can I ask you a question, King Herc?
You don't. It's hard. It's kind of hard to stand on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is evidence?
Evidence. That's. I guess that's what. It's proof. That's your the proof of what you're looking for, right?
According to who? Because I gave the definition of evidence according to scholarship in my debate in the open.
What did it say?
You gave a definition, not the definition.
I said according to scholarship. I didn't say that it was the only definition. That's the definition that I gave according to.
We heard how you tried to say that shit. Go ahead, finish saying what you said.
Right, exactly. So evidence being able to be something that's provided that can be reviewed. Just and Pan agreed with this as well. My opponent agreed with this. It can be reviewed, and then amongst being reviewed, it has to be validated or invalidated by if it answers any type of questions that are relevant to the context of the artifact. So when I brought out something like somebody trying to prove biblical text, and then they find ancient archaeology like the Dead Sea Scrolls, there are top scholars that consider that evidence. And what I'm saying is I brought out the top scholars that consider that evidence. So now we're talking about Pandemus versus scholarship that consider this evidence and why they consider it evidence. Not just me saying, oh, this is evidence. No, they literally were saying why they consider these things evidence.
So I think let me make the distinction. When the moment they make an argument on the raw data, it becomes evidence. So data is raw, is free of any type of theories or arguments, right? So that's why it's called raw data, right? So that's why that's subject. So like when you apply an argument to that data, right? That's the evidence depending on how you argue, or depending on your specific argument, because you can use the same. That's why I say data is neutral, because you can use the exact same data to form two completely separate arguments, and they both be true. Do you understand that? You can use the same data.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was talking and I was muted. Yeah, I agree with you somewhat. Like I said that earlier.
Do you agree with that point that we can both take the same data?
No, I don't agree with that. When you say that, you're saying it as if it's absolute and it's subjective. That's why I said you would have to give an example.
No, the raw data. So the raw data is just the information without any argument applied to it, without any theory applied to it, right? It changes to evidence once we apply those theories and arguments.
It depends on what the data is in the subject of. That's what I'm saying, King.
The data is raw material.
Yeah, but you gotta give an example.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked earlier to just go off of what I was considering evidence and say how it could be used against me as the raw data before it's being reviewed and put to a side of support.
But do you understand the point of what I'm saying? That once you apply those arguments and theories, it's no longer data and becomes evidence. That's why I'm saying.
I do. That's why I say I think it's subjective to say that it's neutral and all raw data can go either way. I don't believe that.
See, you starting from a bias. See that, and that's the problem. You starting from the position that meaning data. You supposed to in science. You're supposed to start with everything is neutral, and you look for what's going to prove it either way. I had a slide on that for anybody who's paying attention. Talking about I didn't have proofs of things.
No, but if there are data isn't always.
Hold on, let Pan land his plane so we can get into what I saw. Go ahead, Pan, land your plane, and we going right to Asan.
Matter of fact, go ahead to Asan. Cause geez, man.
What it do? What it do? We got big brother Asan in the building. What it do, Asan? How you feeling tonight, Brody?
Hey, peace and blessings to the panel. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm just sitting here listening.
Did you check out the debate?
Did I say that again?
Did you check out the debate?
Nah, I was actually dozed, and then when I woke up, I seen it on. So I said, let me just call in and listen to the brother, rap with the brothers. I believe both ways. I believe that this has some essence of being true. I don't know if the names of the characters are true. I don't believe in all of it, but I do believe that there's some truth to it, but then there's truth outside of it also. So I can respect both perspectives on what people were saying. So that's just where I'm at with it. That's why, I don't put my belief in the Bible, but like you can't say Abraham's Abraham. You can't say Moses is Moses. Even the brother made a beautiful point when he said, he went up to get the tablets. As a matter of fact, I thought about this the other day, and then he came back down and dropped one. I mean, he can go up there. It doesn't make sense to say that the Creator wrote it with his hand, like it came out and hit it with the with lightning and scribed it in there. If he's up there that long 9 times out of 10, he could have chiseled that. They even say that he made it was really only 2 Ten Commandments, and he made the other 8, and also created 600 and some odd more laws, 600, I believe 13 more laws that he made because he wasn't waiting. But then on the flip side, that you can tell that there's something to this 7-day theory, where 6 days where we're going to be in what you call under sin, and then that there's going to be a day that it's going to turn around, and then there's not going to be sin, and then we're going to live into a paradise, or here on earth, which you will call heaven. I do believe that's going to happen. So, you know, it's
So you do believe what's going to happen?
Do you have any evidence to support why you believe that, or do you just believe that?
Sure. No. My just from looking at what's been going on in the world and how the world started out and I mean before we even got here, and how intelligence and consciousness is waking up. So there's something that's waking consciousness up, and we're coming out of a animalistic state and more of a spiritual state. And you can see where you are today, where people are debating this. So if you're debating this theology and logic, then there's something there. When you say, as far as evidence, the world in itself is evidence, because you can see how there's such a transition in the world, how we're getting closer and we're becoming more wiser than we once were. So something, as who I teach as the creator, who is I, there's an intelligent design going on in this world right now.
That's the perfect example of what we're talking about as data being neutral, right? Because you gave a good, your opinion and your perspective, but somebody else could look at nature in the same way and come up with a totally different conclusion.
It's called perspective.
Please give the example.
It's called perspective.
I gave the example.
His perspective.
I got you, King J.
Can somebody
give it? Subjective though. Your perspective is subjective, not the data.
So listen, the data is neutral. What when you take the data, listen, the evidence, once the data is neutral, the evidence and how we interpret it is what is subjective. How we are interpreting the data.
All right, so I want to
the data of the earth or the universe being under intelligent design. How do you use that raw data and go against a creator when scholars
say, God, can I answer this?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Pam, because that's
zero probability to go
against
religious.
Let me go after Pam real quick.
There's a couple things I want to say, but say that question again so I can make sure I answer it specifically.
Man, y'all niggas got Matumbo blocks, boy.
You don't have to rush through it.
That's not religious though.
That don't have to be religious.
I'm talking about Matumbo, Hakeem, Elijah.
That can be spiritual.
All they do is know and deny and gish gallop. So right here, so we was talking about the mosaic, right? And I'm gonna bring it back to the topic. I'm not going
supposed to be answering the question from Emmanuel.
What y'all on right now, bro?
Let Pan go.
Listen, man. When the man says data is neutral, anything that's outside of that, you are telling me that you are starting off with a bias. There is no other side to what I just said, so you're just being biased if you disagree with what I just said. That's what it is. Now, as far as moving forward, in my slides, I showed, he asked how you can use two things. The question he asked King J, right? So all of that talking about intelligent design, I showed how we know about the nature, the age of the earth. You know what I'm saying? The reason you know that is scientific discovery, right? It wasn't something that was written in a book somewhere, right? And eventually that was one of the God of the Gaps theories that got closed up, and eventually religious people had to go with the older earth now, because originally they was going with young earth. So that's just how things work. And when he said the opposite way to view the intelligent design thing is that it's not intelligent. And he gave the example earlier about how, I think it was Humble that made, if cells are doing things that cells do, and that necessarily converts into something else being created, that's not necessarily intelligence in the way that you're saying it. It's not a sentient being deciding to create things. You know what I'm saying? It's just what things are. And you have no evidence to the contrary of that unless you being biased.
Exactly.
No.
All right.
So hold on. You said that's how they found out how old the Earth was. I must have missed that part somewhere along the line. Can you break that down for me?
From a young Earth to an older Earth, based upon
Well, hold on. We get to that.
Because if we go by how they're saying, we don't even know how old anything is. We go by what the general relativity mathematics, and we know that at one point, general relativity doesn't work anymore, and it breaks down and goes into infinity. That means it's either incomplete or faulty. In all other mathematics, it would be incomplete or faulty.
Even if you go with that, that's not evidence for a God.
Really fast.
But it's not evidence for the amount of time that the Earth was. That's all I'm saying.
This man is something
Really
else,
fast.
bro.
Also, hold on, Capone. Also, that's not how the general that's not how the theory of general relativity works, right? So yes, Einstein's laws work up until a certain point, and at that certain point, Planck constants take over. So it's not like science work and then there's a point where science no longer works. No,
that's not what I'm saying.
There's a field of science that work, and then at a certain point, there's a whole nother field of science that also works.
That corrects it. No, science is just say science is self-correcting. That's all you got to say. Science is self-correcting.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about
that's not what we're saying.
Fields of science. If we're talking about physics, and then we're talking about quantum physics, that's what Debate was talking about when he was talking about general relativity. General relativity in physics, right, has a certain effect on reality up into a certain constant of reality.
So
After
why
that,
is it used?
Hold on 1 second, Debate. Once that constant has been reached, at that point, it breaks down into Planck's constant. That's a whole nother set of mathematics that apply to the quantum scale that doesn't apply here. So, like I said before,
exactly, and I brought that out in the debate. Humble
is just another form. You see what I'm saying? I land my plane with that. Go ahead, get it in there, y'all.
So what I'm saying is what I'm saying is that the mathematics, if it was, for example, basically what I'm saying is that general relativity is the math that they use to measure that time back to what I guess t equals 0 is. And that's basically all I was saying. I wasn't saying that I just said that in other math, it would be considered faulty or incomplete. He said that Planck's constant is another part that they use to, I guess, complete the math or whatever the case may be. So that changes it. That changes what I'm saying. I'm just saying that general relativity is what they go by to get to that t equals 0. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and that's a fact.
Right.
That's neutral.
Before we get to you though, my apologies, brother Sadiq. I didn't even know you was in the back. I apologize.
What's up, brother?
I got
that's okay, brother. If that's all, it's love, brothers. Always love.
Let Herc say something, son. Nigga Herc been waiting, bro.
Most definitely. Yeah, look, I was getting a Herc. I just wanted to make sure my man Sadiq understood that I didn't know he was back there. Go ahead, brother Herc.
So that's not what Pam Davis was talking about when he was talking about the age of the Earth. That has nothing to do when you talk about general relativity. So my reply, because I mean, you guys know me, I'm coming from an African spiritual traditional point of view, and so when you say that,
stop playing.
When we talking about an intelligent design, you know, the ancestors said, yeah, the creator created the universe, and it was an intelligent design. And how do we know that? How do you prove it? And I said that you could prove this with the golden ratio. The fact that the golden ratio is both macro and micro shows you that there is a consciousness behind it.
Golden ratio.
Hold up.
Let him land his plane.
Because if it was random, you wouldn't find it you could not find it everywhere in the universe, and you would find different ratios because it would have to be random. It would be different ratios on different levels all throughout the universe. It would not be one. It would not be one. So we have to use logic. It's about logic. It's not, you're not going to find a physical proof for the creator. It's logic. And the logic is, this is just one of the logics. The logic is that the ratio.
The moment you say logic, now we're talking theology now.
I'm not finished.
That's not true. That's not true.
The logic is that the golden ratio is both macro and micro. You find it in the construction of the planets and the galaxies, and you find it in human DNA. That
Okay,
shows you that there was a
so
consciousness
Mansa, what
behind
tools
it.
they use to
All
find
right.
anything on the
Hey,
microphone?
King J, you
No,
gotta let her.
because
You gotta let
Hold
her.
on, let him finish. Let him
here's
finish.
the other part. If you let me finish, I'm gonna get to that. So here's the other part, because you could just take any two numbers. You could take any numbers. It don't matter which numbers they are, and you can add them up using the Fibonacci sequence. It's always going to come out to the golden ratio. That shows you that there is a thought process behind that. It is not random. You cannot. You would have to prove randomness.
Thought process, facts.
Randomness in the universe, and it cannot be proven.
Real fast, y'all. Let's let our son get in there. He was saying something before everybody jumped in.
Hey, Humble, after I son, can I respond to Hercules? Because I feel I agree with something that he said. I just want
All
to
right, then you respond, debate, and then we're gonna let King J get in there. Go ahead, brother Asan. We can't hear you if you're talking, brother. All right. Well, until
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. What I was trying to say, when I'm speaking of intelligent design, I'm talking about, I believe in there's two parts that make us up as a human. One is the flesh, and then the spirit that resides in the flesh. The spirit is having, which is the consciousness, is having a human experience through us. When I heard the brother mention the word logic, and then I heard somebody come behind him and try to say theology. Theology, meaning theo, is a God's logic. I don't speak or come from the God logic because I don't believe in God, but I believe we're able to have our own logic within ourselves through our experiences and through learning in life. So I'm not sure one of the brothers is atheist and doesn't believe in any of that.
Can I
And
ask you a question just on based on where you're at in your sentence
Hold
right
on,
now?
King J.
I don't want to cut him. I just want to just ask a question because I just want to ask him: Is that a personal experience? Would that logic be based on individual? Everybody.
Yes.
So
yes.
everybody's logic would be different based upon that. Correct.
Great question.
Everybody's logic would be coming into an understanding. Some will never come into that type of understanding.
Facts.
Some may come into that understanding. So I can't say what everybody will experience.
Right.
But what I will say that there is a connection when you are awakened spiritually, that you will all come to one conclusion, because it is only one that designed this, and then there's some people that won't even wake up to it.
Facts.
Sadiq.
Yo.
Let's let debate get in there. And then we going to King J. After King J, we got Sadiq. Go ahead, debate.
That was me that you called me debate earlier when I asked could I respond to Hercules.
Go ahead. My bad, y'all. Go ahead. Go ahead, so we got
I just
Emmanuel.
unmuted myself so I can say you weren't talking about me.
My bad. My apologies, y'all.
Nah, it's all good. I was just trying to say, since I had already got a little wind in, I was gonna let Sadiq go before me.
Oh, I mean,
go ahead, Sadiq.
Okay, appreciate it, family. Appreciate it, man. Well, great debate, guys. Great. Hey, whenever we can get together and get engaged and moved by talking with the fam and listening to the new ideas, and as it is, it's always a privilege, in my opinion. And I appreciate spending time with the fam. It's always the case. Thanks. I'm a theist. My concept of source or God, if you will, is of a mental variety. Okay. So where those kind of conversations and talking points come up, I can elaborate to no end. To be quite frank, someone mentioned there's seem to be some patterns found throughout creation as we understand it, as some understand it to be, particularly where intelligence is concerned, or some degree of order, some repeating logic, if you will. I would agree. I would definitely agree. Can it be proven? Can an atheist receive maybe what the brother Emmanuel offers as absolute proof of the unseen omniscient? Of course not. Of course not.
But in part, logic can be used. James Cassell does a pretty good job at illustrating that to some of the atheists. I've saw some of his debates in previous, and he'll go to the deep into the logic. And so I remember that debate him and Pan had a while back, and I think he did a pretty decent job for a thief. He went almost out of the religious text altogether and went straight logic with the. I won't go rehash it, but he mentioned that there's something that starts the force that begins. They went down into the molecules and the forces, fundamental forces, and so for those who didn't see that, there has to be a cause, what we call the causeless cause, right? No absolute one way or the other, but at any rate, it's the best thing phrase we could come up with to describe an infinitude that gives rise to reality that can be partially proven to some degree using logic in a conventional sense, and it's kind of hard to do that because we're dealing, we have to, we're dealt with the limitations of the trappings of language as well as conventional scientific thought, which is very stiff, extremely limited, very primitive. I don't care how sophisticated and articulate we are with the language, with the letters, with the education, the degree, blah, blah, blah. Like Brother Isan said, one would have to, and I would have to second that using my own experience. It would take at first to give firsthand proof. It was just going to be a personal journey, guys. Who understand, whoever's in the know what I mean. Know what I mean? Excuse me, I dropped my damn drink. And so just to be brief. You have to go inside to get out, so to speak, out of the trappings of the limitations of any absolute belief, namely atheism. It's a closed system, but by and large, for what I understand it to be, for the most part, at least from the guys I've met, in person. And so I would say leave the doors open. Whatever we think we know, leave the back door open so we can get more understanding at some point. Surely there was a day where we didn't know we know today.
Don't leave the back door open, whatever you do.
Right? Yeah, there was the side window, right? Let's change the side for those. Cleanse yourself, my brother. But get that. Well, let's leave the side window open or the front door open. Kind of just crack it. Just leave it cracked, and allow ourselves to grow in, namely in the name of the Spirit.
Can I just say something to that, brother?
What's that?
As the ranking atheist on the panel, I think it's not that it's a closed system. In fact, it's quite open. The premise that most atheists take is we have not been convinced of the things that have been presented. If something convincing is presented, we will then be convinced, and it will be involuntary, right? So for you to believe something, you know what I'm saying, you actually can't choose to believe something. You either believe it or you don't, right? So you could choose to follow something, like my opponent, right? It is, in fact, I'll stay there for a second. Like, he decided, he saw all the different things and chose to follow Hebrew, right? And so that's what it is. And the majority of
is that faith based
lay followers, hold on. I'm just gonna finish. Majority of lay followers, you know what I'm saying? In fact, a lot of what y'all are saying as believers on this call right now are saying it's really not based on a hard evidence thing. It's not what will convince an atheist. It's really about what convinces you. And most times it's not an evidence-based thing. And the last thing I want to say is not all systems have a creator or believe in a creator God. I had a slide in there on Hinduism and Buddhism to start off with, but as well as Odinani from Igbo, right? They believe that the world always was, so it wasn't about a creator God. Also, going back to the Odinani and the Yoruba Ifa, right? They believe that the world is not getting smarter; it's actually devolving, right? So just those conflicting opinions right now we just had on the call, right? Where we either getting smarter and more in tune with the universe, or what the ancients said, the West African ancients, which is closer to us, said that we actually devolving and get worse, right? And further away from the divine. Those two conflicting things can't both be, right? So what needs to happen is what I'm doing. I'm sitting here genuinely asking for evidence for a thing, and because if asked individually, none of y'all would have the same. None of the believers on the call would have the same description of the thing that y'all believe.
Well, that's because
I want to get in there, then we can go to us. I want to get in there. Really fast.
I'll wait.
All right. So I do want to say this. Brother Sadiq made a point. I do want to say this. We have to be comfortable with saying either I don't know, or we have to be comfortable with grasping concepts that are out of our usual everyday logical system, right? And
Facts.
what I mean by that, right, is when we see scientists are out here, particle physicists, theoretical physicists,
Right.
quantum physicists, and
Right.
all of them are talking about two main things at the basis of everything, which is energy and vibration.
Right.
Now, the interesting thing is scientists are aware enough to know to say, instead of saying God did this, they're aware enough to know to say, hey, we don't know what came before that.
Right.
Our instruments show us that in the beginning was just these two things. We don't know what created it. We don't know what came before it. We don't know any of that. All we know is this. And so we, right, whether we're religious or naturalist or whatever we are, we have to be okay with saying we don't know the things that just precede certain things. Like if you are religious and you say God created everything, and somebody asks you, okay, well, who created God? Just say you don't know. It's okay. Because if you are coming from the realm of creation, then that means everything has a creator. And if
Right.
everything has a creator, then your very creator has a creator.
Right.
So
And
you
just what? Yeah, he's right. Yeah, well,
And that's
piggyback on what
molecular
just two
reasoning.
sentences,
That's molecular
just add to what
reasoning.
Humble said, and just to address
And
the
then
pandemics
I
in
want to
one sentence.
before I forget.
The form of creation is an absolute. Yeah, I subscribe as well to the material in some form has always been present. The 2027 Alexis hasn't been produced yet, but yet it is here at the same time. It's not produced and it is produced. We're just going to rearrange the order from a previous set of circumstances, which is also predicated in the prerequisite criteria for all creation at the end of the beginning of the day. So while the creation isn't absolute, it is, yes, the combination thereof, which also agrees with the second law of thermodynamics, which we know that energy or matter cannot be created nor destroyed in a like manner. I'll just stop there.
facts.
All right.
Yeah, so I want to
I
let
was,
me
hold on.
go ahead and
We
get
got
my
Capone. We got Sadiq, and then we
go
got
ahead.
Capone. Go ahead, Sadiq, because I don't want you to forget what you
No,
got to
I
say.
thought I was in there.
Oh, okay. I can say one more sentence. Let's keep it real short, guys. See, so we have to agree with that and accept that. That is considered irrefutable, even by typical conventional standard. Those who
Wait,
subscribe
hold
to
on
scientific.
1 second. My apologies. Hold on 1 second. So
Go ahead,
Sadiq
brother.
was the one who was just speaking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All right,
Sadiq.
my son, did you get a chance to speak?
Nah, I just
I ain't ever get a chance to go.
I can yield, but I'll yield, brothers.
He didn't
I'll
get a
yield.
chance to go.
I
Whoever
All right,
didn't
1
get
second.
a
Jay, get in here.
I let Sadiq
hold on,
go, and I
let
was supposed to
Sadiq
be going after
let
Sadiq.
Sadiq go, and whoever didn't get a chance go, and then I'll go after you.
Okay, I'll keep it
Okay,
brief,
so
guys.
Sadiq
Yeah,
just went,
I've been waiting
Okay.
for.
and then King Jay is next, and then we can get back to our son.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead. So land your
When
plane,
when
Sadiq,
am I
and then
gonna
okay.
get it? When am I gonna get a chance to
you can
respond?
get right in there after our song, Emmanuel. I got
Yeah,
you.
just
Throw me in there too, man.
let's just
All
go
right,
down
I
the
got you
panel.
right there after Emmanuel. So now what y'all can't do, because all y'all got places. So
Let's
what
get
y'all
2
can't
minutes.
do, hold on 1 second, Capone.
2
What y'all
minutes to
can't
speak,
do is when
man.
King Jay start to speak, and then when our song start to speak, and when Emmanuel start to speak, y'all can't interject. Y'all gotta let them land their plane so y'all can get in next. All right.
Indeed, family. By and large, given that thought as well doesn't die because it wasn't born, so does the cosmic mind shares a like fashion according to the law of correspondence. Someone said something about as above, so below, which illustrates that said law. Right. So what separates us in that same regard, using logic, is only a difference of perspective at the end of the day. Right. What's the difference deal between Earth and Venus or Mars? Well, they're all Earths. We're all Pandem. We're all Sadiqs. We're all Humbles. We're just we're all brothers, but we just differ in terms of our particular unique development. No absolute. Right. All planets are all Earths. They have different names in a like fashion, but they're all what appear to, at least at seeming, according to the law of correspondence, to be different. Only in size, shape, color, whatever, right? But only in terms of their development, what separates them. here at the end of the day. I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. I'll just stop there, guys, and yield to the next guy.
Most definitely. We appreciate you, brother Sadiq. Get in there, King J.
Yeah, real quick, I think I'm still on topic, but I really wanted to go back to the brother Isan and his point when he spoke about logic, right? So I took notes, and what I wrote down what it said was everyone's logic would differ depending on everyone's variance of everyone's personal experience. When we look at God as an abstract concept, something that has no physical body, something that you can't touch, something that can't be weighed, or something that doesn't occupy a specific space of time, something that when you encounter it, it has to be through thought or prayer or ideas, through these abstract ideas, you can come to the conclusion that if everybody's logic is based off of their personal experience in regards to this, then everyone would come to different conclusions.
Facts.
All right. What I was saying when I spoke of logic, I don't know if that was you that said the word theology was logic. And what my position is, the creator.
Was I cut off? How much did y'all hear?
Oh, I thought you stopped. Go right ahead.
Finish, King J.
I was.
Finish, brother. Yeah, I thought you stopped. But go ahead, brother. If you were still going.
Playing.
I thought I did. I just looked down at my mic was muted, so I didn't realize.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. If you didn't finish.
You good.
What did y'all last hear me say in regards to?
You mentioned me in talking about how everybody would come to a different conclusion.
Yes.
Due to their logic.
Facts.
Okay.
Were you finished?
Yes, I was. So,
okay.
But the last thing was would everyone's truth be true based upon their own personal experience?
Good question.
Okay.
That's called subjective truth.
Right. That's why you don't go absolute by your own perspective. Right. I'm gonna go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Yeah, let me
absolutes are false, right?
So can I go ahead? Let me go ahead and respond to.
Good question. The brother asked a good question.
Who's going around the panel?
All right. So
I got you on the list, Herc. I got you on the list.
No. I'm just letting them know we going around the panel, and Isan is talking right now.
Okay, good looking, brother.
So let me answer this question and make a statement on another one. That's why you have something called a common denominator and a numerator. So we as individuals are numerators. But then when we're looking for that one source, that would be your common denominator. Although we are individuals, we would be under one common denominator, which would unite us. Then when that happens, this is where you go from a fraction to a whole. But you must go through that process first. You're going to be an individual, and everybody will not get the right answer in that perspective. Another thing is the creator is not created by anything. The creator is the creator of everything. So when you say creator God, there's no such thing, because the creator created gods and everything that gods are trying to dismantle on this earth. Now you're dealing with the spiritual warfare right now. There's one creator, but there's many gods, and these gods were sent to take your conscious and make you unconscious. So some of us are waking up out of this spiritual unconsciousness that is always, as somebody said earlier, that's always been residing inside of you, but we're blocking it. Now, for the brothers that are atheists, and be honest with yourself, when I use the word intelligent design, be honest with yourself. Have you ever been walking, driving, doing whatever you had to do, and then something said, don't go there, go there? That right there is not you. That is the spirit inside you. When you deny that, then you're denying intelligence or consciousness, because many people will say, that could have saved my life, or this happened because of that. I wasn't even planning on being here. And then somebody will say, I thought of you. I'm getting in right now. Somebody would say, you know what? I just thought about you. And then you run into them and you see each other. That is intelligence. That is something beyond you.
Well, I saw.
What about when you get that same feeling and you go make that left
I'm
turn
gonna be 30
and
seconds.
it's a
Real
bad
quick,
decision?
just to that real quick.
It's all set up the
That's true
same
too,
thing. I
Pam.
didn't take
Right.
I didn't take
Facts.
away. Listen, no, Pam, I'm not taking
Facts,
away
Pam.
from that.
Right.
It's all listen. We all have a time and a date. Some
Right.
things can lead you to death. Some
Right.
things can take you
No,
away. So
absolutely.
I'm
Right.
I'm not being opposed to only things that would seem positive. It's for
Facts.
the entire system of the universe that it is designed for something to happen. Just like when you see these people go into a store that day, you've been in that store 100 times, but just so happened this day you was like, you know what? I was about to go to that store. I didn't go to the store. Next thing you know,
Right.
somebody came in there and shot it up.
I didn't know you were so religious, Isan. But listen,
I'm not. That's not. Hold on. Stop. Don't do that. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Stop. Hold on. Before you say something. Don't disrespect me because I told you I'm not religious. I'm
You're not
spiritual.
religious, but you're giving me religious theology.
I'm giving you spirituality. Two different things.
Hold on,
It is not religion,
You
brother.
gotta let Emmanuel
Don't
get
do
in there.
that. Don't disrespect.
Hold on, real quick. I apologize if you took it that way.
Chill out, y'all. Emmanuel about to show you
Hold on.
evidence for God. Chill out.
Let's let Emmanuel in there. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
He got evidence for God. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, King, you had said something about the golden ratio, and basically what I was getting into was these institutes, they study that, and that's a lot of what goes into why they say there's a zero probability to there not being a fine tuner. That's the source of the constant expansion of the universe, or if one would be politically correct and say cosmic constant, for everybody that does know what that is. They call it a mystery source and the dark source and all that, but they call it these things, and there are ancient civilizations who say they were getting divine knowledge from entities that were directly telling them where these things were being controlled from or what was controlling these things, and not necessarily saying that that is what created us. You see what I'm saying? Us, like literally as the beings that we are today, and helped form our consciousness that we have today, which is what a lot of the Egyptian knowledge is about, which is why they talk about the Netzers and why we would call them gods in English, is because those things actually exist. There are actually things that helped us help form our existence today, help form our consciousness that we have today. So are we going to say that it doesn't exist because it's not the creator of the entire universe? No, just because it's the God to us and it's what created us doesn't make it not God. That's why the first thing that I brought out in my debate is what a God even is. Now, you talking about the creator of the entire universe, I went into that in the face-off. You're having a misunderstanding of pretty much the scriptures, because nobody else misunderstands the other texts when they're talking about creation and how creation started versus what's being referenced or who's being referenced as a God. That's always two separate things.
Was that directed to me?
That was King Kurt, and then directed to somebody trying to say that the God isn't a God just because it's not the creator of a universe, and that's what I brought out in the beginning of my debate.
Question for you: is God plural or singular?
The first definition that I brought out in my debate clearly gave singular and plural.
God isn't singular. God is plural. They are gods. They're not just one God. There's only one creator. There's only one designer of this. Again, gods are only the fallen through the spiritual thing. Gods are fallen entities that are coming into the minds as blockers or resistors of actual knowledge and wisdom.
You are understanding them to be, you're still claiming them to exist.
I never said they didn't exist. That doesn't make them. That doesn't make them right, though. You have to understand
what I just said. Then, pretty much.
Yeah, I do have an argument, because if you're following gods, gods are plural.
You have a different understanding, but I didn't even explain my understanding. I'm more so explaining what a God is. You see what I'm saying? You
A
feel
God
like
is simply
everything
the
that
word God simply means power and force. Anything can be a God if it has power and force over you. Drugs are a God, sex is a God, money is a God. Any of
Right.
these things that you give power and
Facts.
force over you is considered a God. It is
Facts.
minimalistic.
And people worship
exactly.
those
So
things.
if somebody is saying that the God of any of these religions don't exist just because it's not the supreme creator of the universe, then what I'm saying is that's incorrect. There's plenty evidences of the gods of these religions actually existing and encountering these people.
Does that make it? Let me ask you this question. So, if this guy is that positive or negative?
That doesn't have
All right,
anything to do with the
we
topic.
got coming to you in a minute, brother. Hurt.
It does. It
That's
does.
very
It very
subjective.
much has something to do with
It's
it.
neutral.
What's good or what's bad is very subjective.
It's neither
Well,
positive
okay.
nor negative.
All right.
So,
Before all of y'all start to jump in,
You
let's
saying
go
whether or
ahead.
not
back up.
they're
Go,
good or
brother
bad
Hurt. Go
has
ahead,
something
brother
to
Hurt.
do with whether or not they exist?
Right. Hold on. Go ahead,
yes,
brother Hurt.
let's go ahead.
Go ahead, brother Hurt.
I think Capone, did you want to go before me?
Yeah, so thank you, brother. Man, it's been a long time waiting. So pandemic. So this is my thing, and to anybody that's an atheist, bro. Listen, you do not. I'm gonna say this. Give me and let me have like a minute and 30 seconds, man. Listen, you do not. If you don't follow the God of the Bible, bro, fine. That's fine, bro. But don't. And this is what you was doing in your debate. You kept misrepresenting things. You kept misrepresenting the text, other cultures. Like you just said, Hinduism don't have a creator when Brahma is their creator. Then you mentioned Buddha, which Buddha is an avatar of Vishnu, who is a Hindu deity. Right? So if you can misrepresent their stuff, imagine the stuff about the biblical text, which you really hate, the biblical God, that's who you hate. So
Don't shake your head, humble.
So
Don't pick your head up, humble.
you
Pick your head,
hating the
take your hand off
biblical
your face,
God,
humble.
and this
Chin
the
up,
thing,
humble.
and this the thing with atheists. They will use anything to prove their point. They have a bias, and their bias is against the actual creator, which is represented in the Bible, because they know that he's true. So now they have to do everything because it ain't the God that they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the God that come down and sit to them and give them things and tell them what to do. They can't see it that way. That's like when we was talking about a mosaic. See,
How
you
many
looking
different gods are in the Bible?
Hold on,
Chill out,
bro.
y'all. Chill out. Don't let him
Chill.
finish.
The
Let
Bible
him
is
finish.
clear. The Bible says the God of the other nations are idols, but the Lord, the God of the Hebrews made the heavens. So whatever deity that is, he said he made the heavens, and everybody else is worshiping something that they made with their hands. So miss me with the bull crap, bro. Now, this is the thing about atheists. Y'all look at things so narrow-minded. Y'all look at things so narrow-minded. Like when we brought up the whole mosaic thing, it's something called optimal distance viewing, where your brain can't even formulate an image unless you from a certain distance away. This is called seeing a big picture. See, y'all missed the whole big picture of it. The universe is
that up, brother.
the
was
universe. All right, bro. I'm finna land, bro. The universe is designed that way to see, so you can see the. I mean, it's designed in a certain way. It has a starting point, and then it expands out. But we can't see that nor measure it because we can't comprehend that. Our brains don't allow us. We're not the creator. The creator can see that. It can see us. It can see all of it. But go ahead, man.
That's a great point.
So we
That's a great
going to
point,
King
Capone.
J. Hold on.
One
Real fast, y'all.
statement, because he tried to say it.
All right, hold on, King J. King J, hold on. Hey, King Hurt. Master Hurt. You
Yeah.
can see your time, right?
Nah, I just wanted him to go, but I think Pandemus. Let me just go. I would say something.
I was about to say because you're gonna be waiting.
I just
man.
want to say real
Hold on, King J. Look, King J, you getting in right after her.
Humble directing
Go after
traffic.
King J if nobody's going.
No, because Manson said. I mean, not Pandemic said he was about to go. So that's why I just wanted
But
to.
I want you to get in there because I don't want you to forget your thoughts, and then we
I
can
ain't gonna forget. But King J,
And I can go after King J.
King J, if you got something brief to say before I go ahead.
See,
No,
no,
I was
look,
just gonna say in
time
regards
out,
to
hurt.
No, that's cool.
Hold on,
That's
King
cool.
J,
That's
hold
cool.
on.
It's cool.
Because it's gonna be King J, and then we're gonna go to somebody else, and then somebody
I
else.
son want to go after
I
King
can
J.
jump in. Yeah, or after
All right,
I saw.
Let me say, wait, no, let me go ahead and say this. So not because I wanted to do that because I was Pandemic said he was about to. He said he was ready to go, and I just wanted to try to hurry up to get. But anyway, damn, you're right. I kind of did forget what I wanted to say. But anyway, let me say this.
That's all right, brother. Take your time, brother.
Let me say this. I guess what I was earlier when we talked about when y'all was talking about the subjectiveness of the logic. So
Right.
I'm not using subjective logic. I'm using mathematical logic. And so, and when you're looking at it, if the universe is random, so you have to I think you have to use proof that the universe is random. You have to prove that it's randomness in the universe and that there is no structured order. So by proof by contradiction, when you think about it, if the universe is random, that means that there would be white noise, there would be chaos everywhere. Okay, and it's not. There's structure. We see the galaxies. There's structure everywhere. All right, so that requires a specific law. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that's a law for that structure to exist.
Facts.
And I'm saying that if the golden ratio was not a conscious thought from the creator, from Allah, then you would have random ratios all throughout the universe. There would not be just single.
It would be absolute, right? Facts.
It would just be you would just have different ones. So, but there is a law. So the golden ratio is showing you that the stability, that this is why the universe is not collapsing back in on itself from that singularity. This is why, you know what I'm saying, stars are not crashing into each other because of this law that exists in the universe. So therefore it is not random. And to say that there is no consciousness behind it, you have to show that there's randomness. That randomness exists in the universe. So, I know I want to say, Penny, you said something about the Igbo. And I remember years ago I had an Igbo girlfriend. That's the only reason I knew about the Igbo. I was in my 20s and I heard about them. But they do have a creator. They do have a creator because I think I had to look it up. They had a creator. I forgot the name, but if you believe in the ancestors and you believe in the deities, therefore you understand there's a creator. So they do have a creator as well, and I think it was Chinku or something like that they call they refer to the creator.
Chikantu or something like I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
That they refer to
They have several.
But hold up. So the thing is that even if you could point to one or three different African societies that didn't believe in a creator, that doesn't negate the majority. The majority of Black people in Africa always believed and understood that there was something that created the universe that brought them here. The reason for that we are here is because of the other world, the other realm. That's the reason that we exist today. And you find that all throughout African philosophical systems. And I was pointing out to somebody in the chat. I thought it was interesting how in your argument you only use the European point of view. You know, you can't use the African philosophical view.
Facts.
But which is
oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, the EFA system doesn't agree with Abraham as creator, right?
You know what, bro?
I
We
gotta
just like, bro.
Hold on, y'all. We getting out of order. Yeah, hold on. You can't come.
I'm not trying to go on in my. I'm trying to.
You guys are firing on all cylinders here.
Mute everybody, bro.
After Hercules is King J.
This is great.
Before
This is
anybody goes,
fantastic.
hold on 1 second.
I wasn't asking for the mic. I was just trying to tell Hercules I agree with him.
PSA, hold on. PSA. This is why I try to keep it in the order system because I know that y'all want to get in. I know y'all be, and then everybody lose the order. Everybody want to get next. So
Right.
I got your. I
after
got
Herc,
the
I want Herc to land his plane, and then King J, and then we got Pan, and then I'm next, and then whoever
Now I
say
go
that.
back behind you then because I was back to King David. That's fine.
Yeah,
That way.
Pan had a response directly for what Herc just said, though.
Right.
All right,
That's no hurt.
I'm just end with this.
Got King
It's
J.
okay.
So
It's
land
okay.
your
King
plane,
James
Herc.
first. It's fine.
So I'm just ending with this that we, you know, what I'm saying we sometimes we forget that we approach the world from a European point of view because we grew up in a
Right.
Western culture.
Right.
So we forget that, and we usually don't read, you know, African philosophical, their spiritual systems, because we've been taught that those things are invalid and that they are superstition and is mumbo jumbo. But I always point out to people is that, you know, if you go, I've been to Africa, I lived in Africa. If you go to Ghana, if you go to Kenya, you know what I'm saying, you go to the Voodoo, the Airway, you know, the people, you go to South Africa, the Zulus, you all of them can reproduce their system. All of them, they can reproduce each other's system, their rituals. They can do the same stuff. The people that can't do it are the ones that's calling it pseudo. Even the Native Americans over here do the same stuff that they do over in Africa when you get to their traditional systems. It's only those people that cannot do it that call it pseudo, and I think that is a fallacy. Just because you can't do something doesn't mean what I'm doing is incorrect. So I think we have to readvise that when we're talking about these stuff. We have to take a deeper look at it. You know what I'm saying, from an African point of view, and not, you got to take off our European glasses, basically.
Yo, okay, King J, come on, man. Come on,
Step
King J.
back from the mosaic. Step back from the mosaic.
Go ahead, King J.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I wanted to ask Capone. Capone, when you mentioned mosaic, what was your point in bringing that
Hey,
up? In regards to,
hey, listen, hold on. If Capone gonna answer this question, Capone, you gotta be like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, don't ask no extra questions. Stay on.
Just answer real shortly because I did want to know your premise for it.
Yeah, we got
it. So he brought up mosaic. So I just he misrepresented what a mosaic is, and he talked about the definition of it, but he didn't put in the part where you had to step away from the picture to see the full image.
But Capone, so my question would be: would that apply during the time period that we're talking about? Because they're dealing with stone. So but he was mosaics is what you're suggesting.
No, he said he was talking about, he was trying to say how random the biblical text is, and then he went into something being a mosaic. That's where they get the word mosaic from art, is from Moses writing,
right?
Quote unquote writing. So he's saying that it's amalgamation, but the main point that I caught that he didn't say is that you have to actually step away from the mosaic to see the full picture. So I'm using that to say you have to step away from, you have to step outside of your regular view, outside of your tunnel vision to see the full picture of what Moses was writing.
I think would be incorrect. For one, like I said, they would have had to have used stone, right? So there was no stepping away looking at stone in a mosaic view. How was it gonna 3D?
No, he's trying to use
what I'm saying, bro. I'm not talking about that.
I do, but let me get to where I'm
being metaphorical.
Let me get to where I'm trying to go with it, because the first examples that we find of mosaic examples are floors, right? They would take like little colored seashells or little colored stones, and they would arrange them in certain ways and make the floors. We see the first one in Mesopotamia. We see one in Turkey and Ur. So those are the first examples of mosaic.
I know what you're talking about.
Those are the first examples of mosaic stone floors, and you don't have to step back to look at them or to see the like. I don't know where you're getting that from. You're
see the pattern? Yes, you do.
Stone glass, pane glass.
So when you're looking at hold on. So when you look this real quick. So when you're looking at a checkerboard, can you see the full design? If you got your face, if you zoomed in on a checkerboard, Can you see the full design, the patterns, the
Same for
Yeah,
everything.
different
It's the
shapes
same
and
for everything.
symmetry and stuff that's in the checkers board? Because you're talking about tessellated floors.
That's the same thing with everything, bro. You can't see a whole house if you're looking right up at it. Come on,
Right. That's why you have a
let
zoom
respond.
in and a
Humble,
zoom out.
humble. I need to respond to all of this, please. I need to.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. We got Pan and then I'm after Pan. Go ahead, Pan. Get it in there.
I need
I'm gonna
everybody
get in
to
after
be muted.
you.
I need everybody to be muted, and I need you to share my screen. Can you do that? Thank you. So the brother said I misrepresented something, first of all, right? So let's deal with that claim first. When you look at the screen right here, this is not me speaking, all right? This is Rishi Kapila and Jagaguru Adi Sankara, okay? The founder of one of the first and second earliest schools of Hinduism, okay? Now, sources describe him as an atheist in the sense of what? Rejecting the Vedantic idea of a personal creator. Now, I showed you proof of this. What is that noise? Who is doing that?
Yo, who is doing that?
I want to make sure the man who said I misrepresented something has a full understanding of who Pan is. Nothing I said in here. That's see what happened was Emmanuel convinced y'all when he kept saying based on Pan. No, I'm showing you sources. You see in the middle of the screen the question, what is a Hindu atheist? Right? According to Hindu Sakar, the school is Samkhya Hinduism and Mimamsa Hinduism, some of the earliest schools of Hinduism do not consider the concept of a supreme being relevant. Furthermore, they do not believe that there is proof of the existence of God. So they followed the I can't remember the word they use, but the way, Prikada, I think it's called, right? And over here to the right, you see the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4:39, saying those whose faith is deep, not evidence. All right, they attain divine knowledge. That's what y'all talking about. There's no evidence to that. You got to have faith first. You got to do certain things in order for you to gain that knowledge. Meaning you got to halfway believe before you can get there.
According
Slow
to
down.
him.
Slow down.
Oh, so faith is not
Slow-
believing.
Oh my
Let
God.
him land.
Humble. Mute these motherfuckers, man. This verse right here in the Bhagavad Gita is one of about 56 that we can pull up at any given time whenever y'all ready that show faith is the path to belief in the God, not evidence. And it's them talking, it's not me talking. Here, you see, if you ask the Buddha himself, he would say, no, there are not any Buddhist gods. Many thought that he was a god, and still to this day. And he routinely insisted that he was not, and should not be worshipped as such. All right, because they was talking about personal reflection, similar to what y'all talking about. They wasn't talking about venerance to the thousands of Hindu gods. Understand that. Now, when the brother said, I'm talking about a European jump off, I showed you the West African spirituality. They do not, none of them believe that spirits express the way that you can map. You have to go through the divination process to consult with the divinities. And if you don't have the training and skill to do that, you can't, then you have to go trust somebody else to go do that. Meaning you don't have evidence, you just followed based on what he just told you. And here it is, another example. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. If you was,
Hold on. Hey, listen. Hey, hold on, Pan, really fast.
Definitely
I'm the host. Hold on real fast. I'm the host. If I'm up here muted because I'm letting him get in, everybody else on the panel should be muted as well. Get it in there, Pan.
Right. And so on some real shit, when you talk about, I don't even know what the fuck you talk about when you say I cut myself. Right here is me showing you, first of all, to the brother when he said his girlfriend was Igbo. I'm Igbo. I practice Ifa, which is Yoruba, and I also practiced Odinani. Okay. So as far as personal experience, I know that you have to consult the divination in order to have, you know what I'm saying, any type of look, it says it right there that before you do anything important. And that is expressed in the market days. When you say that they can recreate their own culture, yeah, in the 4-day market days, they do that's based on their god systems over there, right? However, that's still not proof that the gods exist. And it don't matter how much you say it, right? So here and then I went all the way, I can't remember where the slide is. Hold on. Yeah, all the way back to the Temple of Sumer. right? Even them, it's the same thing. The priesthood was the key to the gods. The people had no connection to the gods. You had to go consult the priests. So for all the ancient writings, the Akkadians was the same way. You know what I'm saying? So all of the writings, the only thing they do is prove that somebody believed the thing. They do not. I don't care what you say. Do not prove a God. The one last thing that I will say is on the point of mosaic. You know what I'm saying? There is glass mosaics that do not have a picture for you to look back and see. It's just different colors. There's stone mosaics, like the brother said, on the floors that you do not have to step back and see. There's other material mosaics that you do not have to step back and see. So like he's trying to give you. Originally, he was trying to say there's a picture of like a face, like a puzzle picture that you could, if you step back, like one of those things when you cross your eyes, you'll see the whole picture. That's not a mosaic. Mosaic is a collection of different pieces that you made into art. That's what it is. That's what it's always going to be. Now y'all can go back into trying to act.
All right.
So,
10 second. You said 10-second reply.
Hurt, because I ain't gonna be long. I ain't gonna be long, Herc. I promise you I ain't gonna be long. You listen.
I'm after you though.
So I just want to point out a couple things that brother Capone was saying, and this is why I'm not going to be long, because a lot of what Pan just brought out is exactly what I was going to say. See, this is the issue when you look at other systems through a Eurocentric religious system. You look at every other system based off of the Abrahamic faith. So because the Abrahamic faith have gods, you think every other system have gods. No, there are spiritual systems out there. So when you look at them, just like Pan just brought up, with the Buddhists and things of that nature, Buddha was not a god. Buddha didn't even want to be considered a god. He was just someone who taught enlightenment. So when y'all run around there talking about, yeah, they worship Buddha, no, they did not worship Buddha. Y'all have to stop with that. That's a Eurocentric religious ideology. That when someone is in a certain practice, then they're worshiping a deity or a god. That's not the case all the time. That's the case with your religion, but that's not the case with all other spiritualities. I land with that. Go ahead, get it in.
I was actually
5 seconds.
I've been pushed back 10 times.
Real quick, just 5 seconds. Pandemia, you're Igbo, but also you're an American as well. So you got to remember that, as I said, we're looking through it through European lenses. And remind me to come back to this if I get a chance. That's all.
No, I practiced it through my own very much.
Who is Olodumare?
Self though. So
who is Olodumare?
The creator in the Ifa spiritual system.
You said the creator of what?
In the Ifa spiritual system of the Igbos, of Ifa, pretty much.
Now let me ask a question. Hold on 1 second.
And Allah was a
supreme creator.
Hold on 1 second, because somebody on here said they studied that. I want to get to the root of it. Hold on 1 second. I want to get to the root of it.
Go ahead, brother.
Is this name that y'all said in the Igbo tradition,
right,
is it the God of creation, or is it the embodiment of creation itself?
If you're asking me, I would say the embodiment.
It's both.
No,
but it would be both.
Hold on 1 second. I'm asking a person who have experience in this tradition. Is it the creator God, or is it creation itself?
Olu means God. I can tell you that.
And from my understanding, it's both. It's a supreme creator primarily. That's what it's known as if you ask most of the Ifa guys. I know a few of these guys.
Who is Chukwu and Allah? Who is that?
So Allah?
Chukwu and Allah.
It's in Igbo, that's the creator, correct?
I thought Allah was about Islam, isn't it?
Yeah, no. Allah is the female deity that Chukwu, the androgynous, hermaphroditic type of biformal thing that created this realm that we live in. Because so you got Olodumare, who was a creator of people. You got the people that the beings that created.
Okay, exactly. That's what I want.
And then there's things that was before this. But this is what I'm saying. This is when you're dealing with somebody who don't look through things through a European lens, who actually practice this shit. You feel what I'm saying? You know what? Let me stop talking. Go ahead. It's not my turn. I'm gonna let y'all. You're dealing with the pan.
Olodumare. Let me tell you.
We're gonna come back to it.
I asked you a question direct, and you was just answering it. Why would you say hold up? Because it was exactly what I was saying.
What was the
You know
question?
that.
What was your question to me? What did you say?
Who was Olodumare? And when you just answered who he was, you just cut yourself again.
No, you wasn't listening then.
Again.
Created, according to the story, created human beings in this realm that we live in now. That's the story.
Okay, hold up. So
if you didn't know the story, you should have asked me beforehand. But what happens is in the Igbo and the Yoruba tradition, everything
I did.
always
That's why I
listen.
asked
Everything
you.
always existed. Let me finish. Everything, the universe always existed in Igbo and Yoruba tradition.
Right.
The creation that you talking about is people. Stay focused. This shit gonna get more difficult if I stay on the line.
Okay, real fast. Let me jump in. So let me personally use an example. This is one of my favorite examples, right? So one of my favorite natures is Jehuti, right? Jehuti is not a god. Jehuti is a principle, intelligence, wisdom, right? There's no deity up there or ever or had statues or anything worshiping Jehuti because that's not what they did with that. They understood that Jehuti was the embodiment of wisdom and knowledge. They didn't think he was the god of wisdom and knowledge. No, they understood what he was. Now, here's the thing that people get mixed up. They see iconography and say, oh, look, that's proof that they thought he was a god. Look, he got an ibis head. That's proof that they thought he knew what he looked like.
Why did they mummify
Hold on one second. That's called symbolism. So when we're speaking about these things, just piggyback off of what Pan was saying. It is incorrect when y'all think just because there are certain depictions of certain hierarchies of natural forces that they consider those natural forces God. Tiamat, right? Which when you literally look up what Tiamat is, forget her iconography, forget the stories. When you literally look up what Tiamat is, it's salt water or fresh water. So that literally lets you know they had a concept of what divine water was. You see what I'm saying? What divine presence was, what divine thought was. They understood these principles. They didn't have to make them gods to understand the principles. Just because they personified it. And see, this is the thing, and this is what they try to do with science.
Was Ra a principle?
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna land my plane with this. This is what certain people also try to do with science. Just because they wasn't putting titles to the things that they were doing like we do now, it's not like they didn't have these same skills. So just because they didn't use the term personification in their literature, because they didn't use the term anthropomorphism in their literature, does not mean they didn't understand those concepts. These were not literal people. They understood life on different levels. So they're not sitting up here thinking everything was a literal God that they talk about. These are stories to remind their children of the lineage and the discipline through a divine way. That does not mean they believed all of the stuff that they was talking about was literally happening.
Right. I hear you saying everything. I hear you saying everything and all the stuff that they talking about, and I agree with you. But what about deities like Ra? What would you consider that? Is that a principle, or was that a deity according to
Ray is literally the sun. You
so
can
Ra
look
was
up in the
so
sky
Ra wasn't a deity according to the Egyptians. It was
no,
just the sun?
now listen.
Yes, he
if
was.
you say, hold on 1 second. No, Ra was not a deity. Ra was deified. Yes. Ra was not a deity. Ra was literally the conceptualization of the sun. Did they
No,
deify
that's
Ra?
not what it was.
Yes, they did. But Ra was not a god. That frame of thinking did not come into much later.
What? I've never seen a source that said that Ra was
humble. I kind of
actually the
have some
sun.
pushback with Ra being the son.
Yeah, Ra. We know Ra is the son, but Ra.
Ra is not the son. So what? So listen.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, let's hear the brother say why Ra's is the son.
Everybody be quiet. If you're on the panel saying Ra and you're trying to tell me what Ra means, you shouldn't be saying nothing to me because his name is Ray. If you don't even know how to pronounce his name correctly, how you going to tell me about what Ray is?
I know the name, brother. I'm familiar with it. Just listen.
So then why do you
hold on, brother. Hold on. Listen. Let me tell you. The circle with the dot in the middle. I know.
No, that's not Ra. That's Aten. How you going to
Exactly. Humble, stop talking. Brother, come on. You made the claim. Are you gonna let me tell you why you're wrong without cutting me off?
You gotta get your symbols right first.
Brother,
you can't be talking about
why you're wrong without cutting you off. Without cutting me off.
Yo.
You said Ra was the son.
Yes.
So that means that when you say that, you're talking about the physical, actual sun, correct?
Yes.
So Ra is the energy. So the sun, when you see the physical depiction, the physical sun disk, that is the Aten.
Ain't no way.
That is the Aten, Humble.
No, that's not necessarily true, sir. Hold on.
Time out. Hey, King Hurt. I don't know nobody else. Hold on.
I did see something say the Aten was the sun disk.
Hey, Master Hurt.
The sun disk is.
Can you please come and spread some light on this situation?
Brother, I'm very familiar with the situation.
Hold on. Hey, Hercules.
Yeah.
Can you please come and spread some light on this situation?
Yeah, we talked about this before. And the thing is that the question was we talked about this last time, but some of the brothers on the panel, and he was talking about that.
The depiction of Heru becomes Ra Herakti when you add Ra, which is the sun disk. There you go. It's done. Ra Herakti is Heru until and then he becomes Ra Herakti when you add the sun.
Exactly.
Disk.
The actual
what are we talking about?
Depiction of the sun is Aten. It is
no,
not
that's wrong. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. The sun disk, when you add it to Heru's depiction, makes him Ra.
Hold on, really fast.
What are you talking about right now?
Hold on, because this was me. I just crushed somebody in a debate about this. Right. First off, if you want to talk about this, you got to know the history. The Aten was elevated.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Hold on 1 second, King J. Hold on. The Aten symbol was elevated. At first, the only thing it meant was the sun rays. Before that, after that, Akhenaten elevated it to a divinity or to a creator god. That's the Aten. That's very different than Ray. When we see in these papyri, in these texts, and Ray is bringing forth agriculture.
You want to debate it?
Now, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
You want to debate it?
That a literal physical God came down here and made everything grow. They understood that the rays from the sun help their crops grow. Like, what part of that don't you understand? And then you up here mixing up. Oh, well, this is Aten. This is.
You acting like they were speaking English back then.
You don't know what it is.
Dude, Aten didn't even come out until after Ra was worshipped forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going?
Exactly. So
exactly, yo,
brother.
I'm in Hotep.
Listen. The energy that is behind the Aten is Ra. The physical.
No, before Aten. Because you start off wrong. You got to start. Ra existed before Aten.
You can debate when I get done talking.
I feel you. But start off with who was first, Ra or Aten?
But
I just want to know which one was first.
My sentence, brother.
Start from the beginning. Which one was first?
You want to say what you want to say first?
No, I want you to start from the beginning.
I want you to say what you want to say first, and then I'll respond, or I say what I.
No, I just want you to start from which
brother.
I feel you. I know what you're about to say. Just start from Ra or Aten. Which one was first?
Brother, I'm talking, so you can wait. Or you can go ahead and you can talk, and I'll respond when I get done.
So my question, the reason I got you. The reason I asked that question.
No.
You said you wasn't going to
make a point.
I got you. No, I got you. So the reason I asked you that question,
mute your mic.
The reason I asked you
Hold on, King J. Let him
ask that
question.
You didn't ask the question. I didn't hear your question. You cut me off in the middle of the sentence while I'm talking. What's your question?
You said you wasn't going to answer, or I could keep talking, and I'm
brother,
about to just explain why I asked the question.
Brother, I'm not a master.
So the reason I asked the question was,
brother. I don't talk like that.
So be quiet for a second. Be quiet for a second.
I'm talking.
The reason I asked that question is because
what was your question?
You saying the power behind
so I can answer
Ra. You saying that the power behind Ra is I-10.
That's not what I said.
I-10 didn't come into
existence
until after Ra existed.
I did not say the power behind Ra was I-10. I said the power behind I-10 was Ra.
Okay, that's what I meant to say. Fine. You said the power behind I-10 was Ra. But Ra was first.
Right.
So you didn't even have an I-10.
Right.
So what are you talking about? The disc was I-10.
Are you gonna let me answer? That's your question. First. So you have to shut up and let me answer.
The disc existed
That's
first.
Your question. Let me answer it.
No, my question was which one existed.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
No, you already did. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
You answered my
brother,
question.
You missed
said
it.
Yes,
brother. I haven't even spoken.
Hey, no, I ain't gonna lie.
One mic, guys. One mic, family.
First, and that was the answer to my question.
Like, are you going to This is me a humble conversation. I don't know why the brother
said.
Hold on. I'm
gonna give you Ra existed first, and that's the answer to my question.
Yeah, humble's the host. Let's hear humble out, guys.
I'm gonna let you respond, Pan. Go ahead, King J.
I appreciate that. So yes, when we're talking about humble, you said Ra is the sun, the physical sun. I'm telling you that is incorrect. When we talk about the physical depiction of the sun, we know that the physical sun, this is the Aten. Before that time period of Akhenaten, 18th dynasty, there is no physical depiction of the sun. We have a Saba, which is the star, which are the stars that we see in the night sky through the Duat.
Hey, King J, I feel like you done lost enough debates. We're not even going to debate on that. You done lost enough.
We only have the physical. Ra is unseen. Ra is unseen, humble.
No, Amun is unseen.
Yes, Amun is the unseen. Right, I agree with Pan on that.
Off your face,
Amun is the midnight sun, unseen.
Hey, King J, give me the
humble. Let me jump in there, man, because this man been cutting this up. Pandemic love.
I got you, Capone. Hold on 1 second, Capone. Hey, King J, I need that off your face, bro. Because what? Because what? Go ahead, Capone.
Get him humble.
Understand your logic. Even understand your logic. If Aten is the act, listen.
Go ahead, Capone.
If Aten is the actual physical sun, then how can Ra be the sun as well?
Hold on, KJ. Let Capone get in there. You can respond.
I got a question to the debater, right? So, Pandemic. So you said that the Buddhists, they don't. So listen, you keep misrepresenting everything that we saying, all the data, bro. It's crazy. You keep doing this. Buddha is an avatar of Vishnu, who is a deity in the Hindu pantheon. So just because people say, oh, they don't worship Buddha or they don't worship no God, Buddha is not a God. Buddha is the literal avatar of Vishnu.
Talk about Buddha.
Hold on, bro. This is
I'm about to hang up. Y'all have a good night, man. Peace.
All right, Pan. Have a good one, bro.
All right, Pandemic. Damn it, he gone. Damn it.
Yeah, because he keep misrepresenting things, bro, and he keep doing that over and over and over again. I forgot what I was saying. Y'all moved it all the way to Egypt, so all I can say is I was agreeing with Hurt. Nowhere in African or indigenous thought or civilization did they ever say that there was no deity that created the universe. All the ancient text says that there is a deity that created the universe that formed these other beings who came to this earth and they taught people. And the guy I'm from the land, and the guy that Pandemic he cut himself when he said that you had to be initiated. You had to, for the divination, you got to go to the priest. Why? Because the priests are the ones who had the connection with the deity. And go back to the biblical narrative, Moses now was priests. So he cut himself all around the board, but he talked with authority, but he's really I forgot what they call it. He's pulling the wool over y'all eyes.
So
you gotta be able to step back and see what he's doing.
I'm gonna let you right in there.
Hold on, let me say this. You have to step back and be able to hear and see when someone is lying.
Okay, so Capone, I think the point that you are missing is just because ancient people identified universal forces, that does not mean that they were worshiping them as gods. Like Vishnu, right, is a universal force. Brahma is a universal force. Shiva is a universal force, right? These avatars that they say that are avatars, right? These are just people that was coming in enlightenment. That's why I went to Kemet.
But that's the definition of God.
That's the definition of a god. That's our English definition of a god.
Bro, hold on. So that's why I went to the Neteru, just to show you the same thing. They did not look at the Neteru gods. They looked at them as forces of nature. This is why when you see how they operated, right? They operated within the Neteru. They didn't go do something and then go back and pray. Matter of fact, let me give you a great example.
So when
they live life, hold on, Capone. When they live life, they lived Ma'at. They spoke Ma'at, right? So they didn't go out here and do something and then go back to Ma'at and be like, oh, Ma'at, I did this, did it. No, when they were literally acting out their lives, they had Ma'at on their mind, because Ma'at to them wasn't just a God looking down on them saying they was going to do good or bad. Ma'at was literally their ethnic system, their ethical system, right? They live by the ethical code of Ma'at. So when you sit there and you reduce Ma'at to just a goddess, it's like, dang, well, you have no understanding of this culture at all.
Yeah, I think our understanding of what a god is, which is just a power or a force, right, is romanticized. Where we think that it's like a physical person or somebody with powers, right? So that's what that's the misconception that we are having. When the brother Emmanuel, what he was talking about in his debate, he was talking about the divine intelligence, the supreme power that started everything. That's the same thing you talking about, Humble. But because you have a bias and a presupposition, you don't want to acquiesce to his points, then now you're against it. Now I'm gonna make a few points real quick. I'm making a few points real quick. You said that the Ra name is Ray, so the Pharaoh name was Ramesses, right? Or Ra-Amun, not Ray-Amun. That's 1 point. 2 points. Second point. In the Maxims of Ptah-hotep, he says the ancestors who listened to the Neteru. So how did the ancestors listen to the Neteru if they didn't tell them anything? I mean, if you saying that they was arbitrary, they was principles and everything, they wasn't real. How did they listen to them? What, they listened to the sun? They listened to the moon? No, someone told them these things. Another thing, third point, the guy was talking about, I just remember, he was talking about how you can measure all these stuff in science and everything. You can measure all these physical constants and stuff. And those people that did come up with those discoveries, they was inspired to do so. Look up the definition, look up the etymology of the word inspired, and tell me that's not from a divine force. I'll land. Okay. Those are my 3 points.
All right, can I say something?
Go ahead, Hurt.
We're gonna go back to
Go ahead, Hurt.
I wanted to say something too.
All right, so we got Hurt and then we got debate. Go ahead, brother Hurt.
I wanted to get Pandemi's perspective, because when he was bringing up the going to the Obatala, talking to the priests and having them translate, this is something I brought up before, is that and understanding, you have to understand in African cultures that we, like I said, we are growing up in Western culture. So he was pointing out, you have to listen to them. You have to listen to the priests translate what the meanings that they're getting from the Orisha. And how do you know that they're not lying? That what they're translating is true. And so what I pointed out there's a book by Fukuyao, by the brother Fukuyao, in his book on the cosmic Genesis, I think the name of it. And there's another book by Dr. Zulu on the secret waters of the desert dash that I pointed out that in traditional African societies, without the influence of the Arabs, without the influence of Europeans, they literally raise children from ever since a teenage age to be honest. Okay. And this is something that concepts that we don't understand, because it's like, yo, if your parents are about to get executed, are you going to tell the truth or are you going to save their life? And we think, I'm like, shit, I don't want to see my mom die. I'm a lie. I don't want her. But they don't do that. They do not do that. And he gave examples as where they test throughout their lives as growing up, all the way up to all throughout their lives. They always being tested to see if whether or not they always going to be truthful. So these people are literally raised to be truthful at all periods of their life, from teenage to all the way adulthood to their elders. So these people do not lie. They always tell the truth no matter what the circumstance is. And they both gave examples of this. So this is something hard for us to understand because we grew up in a Western culture and we see all these movies, you know what I'm saying, where people lie all the time, you know what I'm saying, to save their children, it's like, yo, that's what you would do, just because that's what we do. But you're not dealing with a Western culture. So he's not here. So, but that's the thing that we have to understand, is that in their culture, they're dealing with different principles, different philosophies, and they have basic foundations that are different than ours that we grew up with. And on the thing, so we were talking about Ra, you would say Ray, whichever word you want to use. The thing is that when you're talking about when you look at it, you're talking about the Atum. And we know that Atum comes first. The reason that we know Atum comes first is because of the word Atum, the name of the word Tum, the where it comes from. I'm forgetting I'm blanking out right now. But the meaning Tum means nothing and something. It means everything and nothing at the same time. So it is like the foundation. Yeah,
why you agreeing with him? He's debunking everything you just said.
Wait, hold up. Is the foundation?
That's literally what. Go ahead.
He's not agreeing with you, Humble.
Let me finish. Is the foundation of, like when we talk about the quantum level, nothing and everything at the same time. Atum. So Atum is that what came out of Noon. It's that first principle, that singular that came out of Noon, and Atum represents that kinetic, that energy. That's manifesting out of Noon. You know what I'm saying? And Ra, when you put them together, Atum Ra, then you're talking about
Master, just stop right there just to build with you. The Atum represents the universal force, pure light, and energy.
Yeah. So that pure potential energy that came out.
Exactly.
That's what that represents.
So follow me. So Master, deal with me because I want Humble to get some understanding. Hold on, Humble. Hold on. Just stop.
No, he's trying to sway
Why
the
are you causing
conversation.
confusion, Humble? Every time I'm trying to correct you, brother. This is what you do every time I realize.
I'm setting it up.
Yeah, let's let him land the plane.
We can follow it. I'm setting it up because we already talked about this. You may forget it, but we already talked about this.
Yeah.
So that's that pure energy. Atum is that pure energy, and Ra is the light. And when you putting them together, Atum Ra, when you put them together, that's that you looking at manifestation of the energy is being manifested.
And movement. I want to add movement.
Right there, man.
And movement.
Right there because they don't understand this.
We got to talk about the movement as well.
Hold on. And I'm giving you primary examples. When we look at the 18th dynasty Armana and we look at the golden disc, that Aten, right? That is a sun. When we look at those rays coming out, and at the end of those are their hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of those hands, they're unks, right? That is not Ra. That is the Aten. Ra, when you want to look for Ra, you look for a falcon head with a sun disc. Ra is depicted as a falcon, Humble.
So the thing is, so
I think and movement as well. Be movement as well.
Yeah.
Deals with
So
movement.
it's not so humble. You stand corrected. I don't want to
Kefa
ever hear
Ra
you say
Ra, Atum Ra, right?
Ra
That's the
is the
movement.
sun. I
Right.
think it's the
issue that
sun.
King J, so the issue that King J is having, right?
No, I have no issue. You're
He
having
don't hold on 1 second, King J. He don't understand before before Akhenaten and after Akhenaten, right? Before Akhenaten, this is why I was agreeing with King Herc, Mansa Herc, and Mansa Herc was saying exactly what I'm saying. Before Akhenaten, right? We know that the Aten, right, was a force. It was not a god. It was looked at as literally the force, right? Now, whenever you seen this symbol, you always seen it next to Re. Which let the people know, the people who's reading this language, who let them know that is something dealing with the sun.
No.
Yes.
Like
So let me
no.
let me say this. Let me end with this. Wait, King J, let me end with this. One of the things we have to you got to remember is that Akhenaten, he wasn't meant to be king. He only became king because his brother died. So and remember, they had a system. They were living in a system where you had to be initiated and you had to know certain stuff. So Akhenaten, he didn't reach the level that his brother did. So that's why he changed the system to that one singularity God or whatever. But when
he did this, hey Herc, can you answer this question really fast? When he changed the system, did he just take an existing God and say, okay, I'm going to use this God? Or did he elevate a symbol to the stature of a creator God?
Yeah, you could say that. He elevated that.
I don't know.
But I mean, let me just
You're making sense.
Rob was
hold on, Mansa, real
quick.
Go ahead. I
Go
want to
ahead.
ask you this question because I think you're on the panel who is the only person besides myself who has some little maybe knowledge of Meta Netter.
Hey, we
the
strip
word when you want to hold on, humble, quit filibustering, brother. When you want to humble, come on, brother. Damn, you can be wrong, brother. You can be wrong. The word for Sundays in itself is literally oxen. Yes or no?
You got it.
The word for the sun disk.
We would spell it ITN.
Just by itself.
Yes, that itin would be Sundays.
Yeah, I agree personally.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I would just differ on movement. That's why I would kind of put more authority on Raw. We got to deal with the movement,
it is
traveling.
An actual geometric shape.
Right, we get it right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You could say that
concept fundamentals. Exactly. Movement in the sky. If there's this thing traveling, taking these different positions, then we go. We have to go and illustrate what Ra does.
Okay.
Yeah, because they represented it as different times. Ra coming out of.
Gotta touch that. You gotta go into that. Gotta go into that.
So you're looking at it at different times and stuff, as at the times of the day, and then when he goes back into the
We're talking about our modern period, particularly.
And what my brother said, he's saying just attendance in itself, as it is in its footprint, is this, is that, and other. True.
Yep.
Whether it's traveling or not, is this, that, and other. Period. True.
Well,
now, what is it doing? What is it doing in that? Then we can get into the, there's no absolute. So it just depends on what we're focusing on, what it's doing. Given its form, we're dealing with its modality. Form denotes function. Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying?
A singletary source of life will be the Aten.
Right.
Yeah. And we got to look at the different manifestations from Aten to Aten Ra.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
And Ra would be the invisible energy behind the Aten. Even then.
Who would look at the Atum Ray. Right. Atum Ra. Right.
So
you look at that light.
Ra is the sun, brother.
But that's what I said. But that's the same thing I said in the beginning, was that you had Atum, and then you had Atum Ra.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think you just have to understand that they had.
I think we're on the same page.
They broke it down in different. It was the same. They basically they talk about different principles of what's going on.
I'm screen really fast. Hold on 1 second.
Look.
So just so I can put. Man, listen, this is too easy, bro.
Humble,
It's nothing but a search, bro. Can y'all see my screen?
That's what's confusing you, brother. Google.
No. It's how is Google confusing me? I gotta correct Google. Google sit here and call Ray God. Matter of fact, now you're gonna make me read the whole thing. Watch this. This is a powerful distinction to make. Shifting the perspective from God to embodiment changes how we view ancient Kemet thought, moving away from personified deity and towards scientific and philosophical understanding of energy. When you define Ray as the embodiment of the sun rather than the sun god, you are highlighting the concept of enlightenment and literal sustaining force of the universe in this framework. Solar energy. Ray is the physical and spiritual energy that derives photosynthesis, weather patterns, and biological rhythms of all living
That debunk
beings.
you.
Listen,
That debunk you.
Cosmic order. Hold
Stop
on.
right there. You killed yourself.
Come on, bro. You gotta let me. You gotta let me finish,
brother. Comprehend what you're reading.
Order. Hold on. As the sun, Ra, consistent cycle, rising in the east and setting in the west. It is ultimate proof of the order over chaos.
Bro, that's talking about Mayat, brother.
Which time out. What
that's
I'm
Mayat.
showing. Hold on, King J. Hold on, bro. I'll be letting you cook. Hold on. Hey, yo. So what this is showing here is Ra is the sun, right? Ma'at is not a goddess. Ma'at is literally cosmic order. And what it say right here? The principle of light. Ra represents the clarity of knowing. Just as the sun reveals as the hidden in the dark, Ra represents the illumination of the mind. So this is what I mean when I say stop just dumbing them down.
That doesn't say Ra is the sun.
Hold on, I'm about to land my plane. Hold on, King J. I'm about to land my plane. Hold on, bro. So this is why I say you gotta stop dumbing these concepts down to just God concepts because they represent much more. So I didn't only just prove that Ra was the sun, but also in metaphorical sense, Ra represents illumination. So again, bro, you gotta listen, bro. You gotta have that up.
Humble, you made that up, brother.
How I make it? Hey,
can you put that back on the screen, Humble?
We're gonna be here all night.
Can you put that source back on the screen, Humble? Because you're gonna die as your own source.
Terrible,
put
bro.
it back on. Humble, put it
no.
back on the screen,
Now,
brother.
King J, you go show me where Ray is not the sun. Go find me something that say Ray is not the sun.
Brother, we just sat on the panel and discussed
Go
it.
find me something that say Ray is not the sun.
I think we agree, more or less. Yeah.
We just went over it with you, Humble.
Yeah, I think we
King
just.
J, go find me something that say Ray is not the sun.
Ra is going to be when you find Ra, you're going to see a falcon with a sun. Brother, listen to what I'm telling you, brother.
King J been asking questions all night. Now I asked him a question. He want to dance around it. Can you go find me a piece of information, primary evidence that say Ray is not the sun?
Brother, yes.
Can you go get that? Can you provide that?
Yeah, and Humble, when I do, can I ask you a question? I can do it two ways. I can just bring you the actual the primary meta-netter hieroglyphs without any, and we can parse it. But hold on.
Just let me show me that Ray is not the sun,
brother. Yes, let me tell you how the ways we can do it. We can bring up the primary script or the facsimile of it because we can't bring the actual pyramid walls, and we can read the actual hieroglyphics if you can read it. If we can do it that way, or we can produce the translations of the actual, stelas themselves. But I don't think you can read it. But it doesn't matter. The Aten, when I asked you, brother, Humble,
he didn't show anything yet.
Humble, can I just ask you one question and just answer it straight up? And if you don't, it'll end the whole debate. And I asked it earlier in the Amarna period, 18th dynasty, when they show that geometrical sun disk with the hands, with the rays extending with the hands out, with the unks at the end of it, is that the Aten or is that Ra? Yes, or which
that is Aten Ra?
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so exact. So Humble, what depicts? Hold on, Humble, you're not answering the question.
Now he want to agree with me. No. When NASA literally,
now you're causing confusion because you don't want to be wrong.
I'm gonna let you get it in. Hold on,
Humble, you answered your question. Now you answered it.
I'm gonna let you get it in. Give me 1 second. When Massa just set up here and said you gotta be mindful of the time period, that these things are taking place in, right?
You said it's
And he said up there and said, hold
I
on
said
one
it's
second.
18th dynasty or
Hold
period.
on.
I told
And
you
he's
time
talking
period.
about the 18th dynasty.
Yes,
right?
I am.
Which we know in the 18th dynasty, Amen and Ra was most definitely linked. So
Amen
when you
Ra.
show us something and I
Amen
say
Ra.
it's Amen Ra and you say exactly, you're proving my point.
Amen Ra? What are you talking about? Humble, Humble, you don't know what you bro. Quit screaming and just listen.
Yo.
Hold on, Humble.
Go
Quit
ahead.
causing confusion so you not to distract from the point.
Go
You
ahead.
do this
He's
every
terrible.
time you're wrong, brother.
He's
Listen,
terrible.
I figured out your tactics.
He terrible.
I said, hey, brother, familiarize yourself with the argument.
Yo,
18th
he is
dynasty, Armana period, Akhenaten, right? This is when they're trying to start the monotheism, right? And it's the Aten. I asked you a question. What does the Aten represent? That physical geometric disc that has the hands extending, representing the rays, right? At the end of those rays are unks, right? I asked you, what does it represent? Which one is the Aten? And which one you said is what? That physical sun disc represents what?
The physical sun represents the Aten.
That
We keep
disc,
saying
okay,
this.
okay. So how is the sun Ra if the physical sun disc is represented by the Aten?
Bro, in that period, that's not the sun. That's Aten. That's
So
when
that's
that's
circle.
when
So hold on. So hold on.
I'm gonna go ahead and put out a super chat while
That circle is not
bro,
the sun.
listen, King
We'll
J.
do a
No,
super sticker.
no, listen. So when Akhenaten and Ella, I just asked Herc said yes.
Brother, you said it's
Akhenaten
not
and
the
Ella-
sun?
Hold on,
Hit the like
King
button,
J.
family.
Hold
Let's
on,
hit
King
share.
J. Hold on. When Akhenaten elevated the Aten symbol, right, to a
What
god
is the Aten
creator.
symbol?
Oh my gosh.
The Aten symbol is the sun.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Bro.
You
Hold
said-
on.
you
So
said-
don't
you just
worry
said
about
it.
it. Don't
You
worry
just
about
said
it.
it.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into
You
it.
just said it.
There we go. Super chat in
Akhenaten
circulation. Super
raised up
sticker.
the symbol, which is the sun disc.
Aten is represented as the sun at that when you're talking about this
Humble,
because
what are you talking about?
it's a sun
die
disc.
on his heels, Humble.
The sun disc. Hold on one second, because here's how I
Represents
can't-
the
no,
physical
come here.
sun.
Matter of fact. Yo, listen. After I say this, and then I'm gonna go on mute for a minute because I'm gonna pull this up after I say this. Hey, King. After I say this,
Quit
King J, you
Googling
gotta
shit.
get that. Hold on, King J. You gotta get that unk removed from your face after I say this. So, what King J keep failing to realize is the Aten symbol is a symbol of light, right? This is why before
Right.
Akhenaten, you've never seen
Symbol of
the
light.
Aten.
What is a
Hold
symbol of
on.
light, Humble?
Hold on. This is why you've never seen the Aten without Ra. After Akhenaten, because the Aten symbol was elevated, then you started to see Aten as a god. This is why everything he keeps saying that's in Akhenaten's period. So that's the only reason he's saying what he's saying. But when we're looking at what it means in its totality, right? Before all of what Akhenaten was doing, right? We know that Re was always the sun. Now let's get into it because I'm going mute because I want to pull this up, man. Go ahead, get into it, man. Hey, King J, you're terrible, bro. You got hey. We don't want you over here, bro. You got to go to the Hebrew side, bro. You got to go to the Hebrew side, bro. We taking your commission card.
Nah, I'm a meta scholar, brother.
You ain't get the hell out of here.
I'm a meta scholar, brother.
Get the hell out of here. Not saying what you're saying.
Brother, I done put too many hours in the dojo with Smash and Reggie and all the real meta scholars to let you come up here.
So then how don't you know that Ra
let
is
you
the
come
sun?
up here to tell me that Ra is the physical depiction of the sun?
So how
tripping,
don't
brother.
you know that Ra is the sun?
You tripping?
How
The
don't
word-
you know that
what
Ra
does
is
the
the
word?
sun?
What does the word Ra mean?
Hey, but how
You telling me that Ra
It
is the
means
sun?
sun. It literally means sun.
What does Aten mean?
Aten is the rays.
What does it mean?
That's what he's.
What does it mean?
Oh, this nigga's dumb.
What does Aten mean?
Come on, bro.
Just say you don't know the definition.
Come on.
What does Aten mean?
Definitions.
No, you didn't.
All right. So you tell me the definitions. What does Ra mean? What does Ray mean?
To do, to make, or to create.
Terrible.
It's a verb.
He's terrible, bro.
It's a verb.
He's
to
terrible.
Do, to make, to create.
So
now,
then,
why
do Egyptologists?
Hold on.
Hold on one second.
Hold on. Now you tell me. Humble. Be quiet.
Why?
Hold on. Be quiet. You're screaming for no reason.
Hold on.
You're screaming because you're wrong. I figured it out.
Egyptologists say Ra is the sun god and not Aten.
Brother, I asked you a question. What does the word Aten mean?
It means rays. I just told you that.
It means rays?
Yes, light rays. It literally is a symbol of light rays.
Aten does not mean light ray.
Oh my God.
It means Sunday.
We gotta move it on, family. Whenever y'all get done.
Sadiq, question. Hold on,
I think the debaters, I think they dropped off.
I'm so mad at each other.
One mic. I gotta realize I'm still moderating. I am having a lot of fun with the brother King J, but we do have to go to brother Sadiq. After Sadiq, we gonna move it around the thing, and then we gonna come back to me and King J. Go ahead, brother Sadiq.
Sadiq, real quick. What does your name? Because your name is literally what we're talking about. What does your name mean? Sadiq.
My name is the second half of the Melchizedek or Zadok or the Zadok, or being the righteousness, one who is of an honorific. It's an honorific description, male description. Or the Tezedika. It just depends on which translation we're dealing with. I'm looking at the Hebrew.
What is the
and so and it's just stylized without the Melch. Just take the Melchez off, and it's just the Sadiq or Sadiq. And I'll just stop and go on and on about that. But it's the type of a shining one, so to speak. And yep. So, but I want to touch what the brother Capone was talking on earlier about the expanding. How things expand and so forth in the universe, and bridge it into conventional science. Just be brief. Kind of touches back into the debate in a way. And also to say that is to say this: the conventional science says the universe is expanding as time proceeds, right? As we understand it. And so, as we learn more and more, so does our memory as well. And so, as the way the computer is designed, model, many would agree, off the human mind and brain anatomy and so forth. So does the hard drive as information is typed consciously, right? We're dealing with something that's alive, something that is sentient, pumping experience over time as we type into the computer. So does the hard drive increase. So the mind of the God is likened to this, as above, so below, to the computer hard drive. So does the mind, or so does creation in its totality, or at least in our unilocal universe, expands. See, that's why it does that. This is why the universe is expanding, because there's living entities in it, and they're living out different timelines concurrently. And there's destruction, and we're creating entropy. I won't go too far ahead of myself, and we're creating chaos as we go, as order eventually dissipates and chaos increases, and I'll just stop there. But that was interesting. One brother Capone went into earlier about how there's an aspect of nature that expands and grows, and I would just probably summarize it in one sentence to say that typically chaos takes up more space than order. And I'll just stop there.
Most definitely. Anybody else want to get it in? Anybody else want to get it in before King J get back into it?
All right. So let me. I wanted to get to something that you said. First off, I wanted to get to. Let me get to what he was just talking about before I forget he was even talking. About the universe expansion.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, that for the last about 1.5-2 years, there's been
big disturbance, so to speak, in modern cosmology because of these galaxies that had been found. I don't know if you know about the JWST telescope, but
Yes.
these galaxies that are supposed to be infant-like and small, but are large and very mature. I just wanted to point that out because the Lambda model says these galaxies shouldn't exist. I just wanted to point that out real quick. But back to what I was going to say about what Humble said earlier, which was that did Akhenaten, did he take did he elevate this, or did he take another god and move it or adopt another god or whatever the case may be? Well, he didn't say adopt. That wasn't his exact words, but that's pretty much where he was going, if I'm not mistaken. All right.
I know what you're saying.
But I have a theory on that. And it might not, it's not proven fact, but we know that this person existed. He had a vizier that was a Canaanite.
Yeah.
Upper El, servant of El. Or servant of the god El. So just saying, I mean, we do know that God saved Egypt once too. Like, I'm just saying, you know. So I mean, I have a theory about that. Yeah, I got a theory about that.
So let's get into this really fast. I want to get back into it with the brother King J. Let's get into this real fast, right? Because again, bro, this is too easy. These are nothing but searches. What do Ra mean? In ancient Egyptian Medu Neter, the term Ra, often translated as R, you know, with the apostrophe, primarily translate to the what? To the what, family? Who was wrong? Who was wrong? Hey, yo, King, like I said before, King J got to give up that unk on his face, bro. He terrible. Let's get into it. It literally primarily translates to sun or day, while it's most famously known as the name of the solar deity who governed the sky, the earth, and the underworld. The word carries a deeper linguistic philosophical layers. What did I say that earlier? I promise y'all I said that earlier. The solar force. At its most literal level, Ra represents the physical sun. What it say? Come on, family. Let me read that again. At its literal level, Ra represents the physical sun. In the Egyptian worldview, Ra, or let me say it correctly. Y'all got me saying it all wrong now. Ray was the source of all life-giving energy. Didn't I say that earlier, family? I could have sworn I said that earlier.
You said it, brother.
Object in the sky. Hold on, let me get through this, y'all. The sun wasn't just an object in the sky. It was a conscious force that's transitioned through different states. Capre, this is my man Mansa.
Right. That's my point. Right. The movement.
The rising sun. Right? The midday sun.
Right.
Atum, this hit it with it, Mansa. Atum, the setting sun.
Right.
Number two, the creative power. The name is often no. Hold on. Let me land my plane. I gave everybody a round. Let me get it in here. The name is often associated with the concept of creation or creative power. In various cosmologies, creation stories, Ra was the self-created creator who brought the world into being through his word or his tears. To evoke Ra was to invoke the primordial energy that sustains existence. Let's get down here real fast. Now, what about Aten? We went back and forth on Aten. Oh, Aten was the sun. Let's get into it, man. Aten represents a significant shift in ancient Egyptian thought. moving from the personified, multifaceted what? Nature of Ra. Wait, time out. Let me read that again, family. Moving from the personified, multifaceted nature of Ra. Aten can't even exist on his own without Ra. So you telling me that this was the man? Get out of here. Towards a moving, singular, abstract concept of divinity. While Ra is often depicted as the man with the hawk's head, and Aten was represented strictly as the solar disk with extending rays ending the human hand.
Cut yourself.
Hold
cut
on.
yourself.
Come on, bro. Let me get it. It's the symbol of life to the nostrils of the king. The physical definition, linguistically, Atali simply mean disc. What did it say, family? Linguistically, Aten simply meant disc. In earlier texts, it was used to describe the physical body of the sun or even the moon. It was time out. They use Aten to describe the moon as well. So how can Aten be the sun if Aten can be used to describe as the moon? Let's get into it, man. It was the shell through which the light of what? The light of Ra manifested. The light of who, family? The light of who? The light of Ra. So again, at King J, you gotta get.
You gotta comprehend what you're reading, humble.
You gotta get.
Your don't even agree with you,
face, King J, because you don't know enough, bro. You don't know enough, bro.
Are you gonna show my screen now? Are you gonna show my screen?
I think we can move on. I think we got it.
Yeah. That's not, even though that's not a source, but I'm ready to share my screen now.
All right, let's get it. Go ahead.
Because I just want to say, humble, that your source debunked everything that you said.
This guy is so read this.
Humble, please, humble. Listen, I know that you're the host of the show, but I need the same respect that you was given.
Get it in there.
Without being cut off every 30 seconds. You don't got to agree with what I'm saying. I didn't agree with anything that you just said. So when your source just debunked everything that you just said.
Get in there. Read your
brother, I'm talking. Why you keep doing that? Your source debunked everything that. Yep. Your source debunked everything that you said. So when you attempted to try to show the three forms of Ra, that's actually showing that Ra's not the sun, because you're showing the three manifestations of the Aten throughout the day. You're showing the rising Aten, and when we see that rising Aten, we see Ra represented as the scarab beetle in that instance. Ra isn't the sun in that instance in the rising Aten. Ra is the actual scarab beetle. When we see the midday sun rising with that disc, and what I asked you about with the red, with those hands extended with the ankh at the end, that's the midday Aten. And Ra in that instance, and I told you, was the falcon-headed man with the sun disc on the head. So that's letting you know in that instance that that's not Ra. It can't.
Bro,
Ra can't be.
Again,
Ra
you
can't.
Can you read this source that disagrees
brother,
with
you
you?
can rebuke. You can respond when I'm done. Ra can't be the falcon with the sun disc on his head and the actual sun at the same time. And when we talk about the setting of the Aten, Ra in that instance is depicted as the Atum. So in those three instances of the rising of the Aten, we see three different depictions of Ra, and neither one of them are as the sun. But that was your source that showed that. So mine's from I just typed in a simple question.
Can you read it?
I'm trying to read it right now, brother. Come on now. Let me get the same courtesy that you
you filibustering, bro.
No, I'm trying to read it. Brother, I'm trying to. I was just the warm up. So what I'm showing on the screen, I asked a simple question. Between Ra and Aten, which one represents the actual physical sun? It says in the Egyptian knowledge system, distinction between Ra and Aten is a perfect example of how they categorize the layers of reality. While both are associated with the sun, they represent different dimensions of its existence.
Facts. That was my point earlier. Right.
Exactly. So we're talking about the actual physical sun. This says the Aten, the physical sun. The Aten represents the actual physical disk of the sun itself. It is the actual celestial body you can see in the sky, the source of the heat, the light, and the radiation. So when you say what is the sun, you're talking about the celestial body. The celestial body is the Aten, not the Ra. Let's go.
And then what would you say, brother Jay, on the Ra?
You can ask any questions when I'm done. I'm explaining it. The motto, it says here, think of the Aten as the hardware or the literal furnace of the sun. Is the visual representation. So that means when you look in the sky, you can see the actual sun, you're seeing the Aten. It was usually depicted as a simple solar disk with the rays extending downward. And I asked the brother that he wasn't familiar with that. I asked him, what was that? It was usually depicted as a simple solar disk with the rays extending downward, extending in human hands that hold the Ankh, the symbol of life, to the nostrils of the king. The vortex, in the context of your research, that's something else. Ra, the conscious life force.
No. Hey, yo, why y'all keep trying to pull a Capone on a brother, bro?
I'm reading it, brother. I'm reading my source. What are you talking about?
Go ahead.
Be quiet, humble.
Go ahead,
Ra,
bro.
the conscious life. Ra, the conscious life force. Ra or Ray represents the spirit, the consciousness, and the divine agency behind the sun. So let's stop right here. If it says Ra represents the spirit, the consciousness, and the divine energy behind the sun, that's letting you know that Ra is not the sun.
Bro.
No, bro. Shut up.
He terrible.
Shut up. You're terrible. The motto. And I'm not done. If the Aten is the physical lamp, meaning the Aten is the physical sun, right? It says Ra is the light and the intelligence that decides to shine. He represents the sun and the three different phases here as the Kepri beetle,
right?
The falcon, and Aten.
Right.
He traveled through the sky.
Those are not the physical depictions of the sun.
I would just add one sentence, Brother King, is that you had your top sentence says it all, and you're proving it when it says the two terms or designations are describing one said thing with layers of existence. So they're both aspects are pertaining to the same what. You see what I'm saying? That, and so as you go further down to the end, we see Humble's perspective comes in when it deals with function, which talks about is at the very bottom. It's the third bullet point under Ra.
So hold on. Are you skipping the one before that where it says
where it talks about the traveling aspect? That's all.
Because this is my.
Go ahead.
Right.
For sure.
I'm presenting this.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
You'll see the whole thing in context is what is the physical representation of the sun? Is it Ra or the Aten? That is the question, right? What is
it's
it?
Both.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
No.
You guys are really agreeing. You're the same sides of two different. Yeah. Same coin, two different sides of the same coin.
Yes, it is. You're asking what.
Hey, I try, homie. I try, King J. I'm a bag off.
Humble, you mean this whole time?
I'm a bag off.
Humble. So you mean this whole time you've been arguing that Ra was a falcon?
Yo, he crazy.
You're crazy. So what are you? Are you not reading the screen? The visual.
Number one.
Hold on, brother. Visual representation.
No.
What King J posted kind of summarizes both sides, in my opinion. It gives both sides.
This man is terrible, bro. That's number one. Number two.
King J ain't gonna take no prisoners.
Let me land my plane.
Go ahead, bro. This man is crazy. After you is King Hurt, and then getting back into it.
Hold on, humble brother, because you spoke uninterrupted.
Go ahead,
so
King J.
When we look here at the visual representation of Ra, it says he. So that's clearly letting you know that it's not a sun. He was typically depicted in an anthropomorphic human-like form, often with a falcon's head topped with a solar disk and a cobra. That is how Ra is depicted, brother. Yeah. And that's how he's always been depicted, brother. Often as a human.
He's terrible.
Totally different than the Aten, when we go up here,
go up, go
the physical.
Yeah.
Hold on, right here. The physical sun, where it says physical representation, it says it was usually depicted as a simple solar disk, the actual sun with the rays. Come on,
multiple
brother.
forms.
Says,
Right.
Go back down.
Human anthropomorphic. Right. Physical sun. Right. Traveling. Right. Life force. Right. It's all of that. Right.
Physical sun.
No,
right.
King
Physical.
is
Right.
terrible.
Depending what area we focus on.
What is
Right.
it? What is
Thank
it?
you, thank you.
If we're looking at the
so
symbolic
says,
function, then we're gonna go with the attend. It just
It says, hold on. It says
Go ahead, bro.
it is the celestial body you
Right.
see in the sky.
Right.
What is the celestial body that you see in the sky?
Ray.
The sun.
Ray
brother.
is the celestial body you
Brother,
see in the
that's
sky.
not what it says, brother.
Ray is the celestial body you see in the sky.
Brother, are you reading the screen?
Ask your chat GBT.
Brother,
Brother,
are you
Ray
reading the
celestial body you see in the sky?
screen? Brother, are you reading the screen?
He is
Or
terrible.
are you having cognitive dissonance?
He
It
is
says
terrible.
the aten, the physical sun. Do you know what the physical sun means? So why are you asking? Like, come on, brother, you can't.
Ray is the physical sun.
Huh?
Ray
It says
is the physical sun.
The physical sun. The
So
aten
listen.
represents the physical.
Hold on, hey King James.
Hold on, brother. Yeah, you need to.
If this is the physical sun, then why can Aten also can be used to be represented
Brother,
as
you
the
need to
moon
ask
as
yourself
well?
these questions. This is what it says.
I'm asking you because you say you know this.
Brother,
If
it
Aten
says,
is the
brother.
sun, then why can it also be used for the moon as well?
So you saying they lying? This source, this chat GPT is lying.
Yes, you most definitely finagled this and poorly.
Huh?
You most definitely finagled this and poorly.
It says. So what is this? It says the Aten
It's
represents
talking about
the physical-
vortexes and this guy is.
I can
terrible.
explain that.
All right, yo,
I can explain it.
Hold on. It's Massa Herc's turn. It's Massa Herc's turn. Get in there, Massa Herc.
I mean, you asked a question, and I mean, he couldn't explain it, so I was going to explain it.
You're gonna be brief because
you're gonna explain why the Aten is not the sun. Go ahead.
No. He asked the question. He said, "Why would the sun? Why would it also?"
That's the argument. That's the argument on the floor. What is the?
Yeah, he was saying if it's the sun, right? He was saying that if it's the sun, why is it also the moon?
Because the sun.
Isn't that what his question was?
Brother, no, brother. You ain't talking about no more. Right?
Hold on. Let Herc get in there. Go ahead, Massa Herc.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted this book right here by Jacob, not Jacob Carruthers, but Mala Karinga, Mayat. Real good, man, real good philosophical book. I thought I was about to disagree or push back with Sadiq until I started to think about what he actually said.
Yes, sir.
But in this joint, Karinga says, I just want to say on page 200, talking about Mayat, he says, Mayat is in fact also the cosmic glue that holds the world together, that gives its meaning and motion. The relationship is a reciprocal one in which the creator who brought being into being and give life requires Mayat from the living. And because he said earlier, talking about he said that there was more chaos in the world, more chaos in the universe than there is. And I was about to push back with that until I actually thought about it, because nowadays I would agree, because of how Western science has produced what they have produced, created more chaos, has created more Isfet, and we
Right.
see the Schumann resonance, what's it called, the Schumann resonance, where the frequency of the earth, we are out of balance with the frequency of the earth because of all this artificial technology that they have that's come out of science, specifically Western science, this artificial technology that's been created. And now it's got this world, got our universe, the world that we living in, more in line with Isfet, this chaos that's going on, instead of in line of Mayat.
Yes, sir.
So I could definitely see that. Yeah. So I was about to push back. I was like, no, wait, hold up. But I thought about it. I said, wait, no. Okay. I see what he's saying. He's right. We're out of balance because of all this, this technology is these artificial frequencies that's going over the universe, these satellites and this energy from these towers, these cell phone towers. You know what I'm saying? All of this artificial things frequency that's been pushed out into our world is called an imbalance with us,
sir.
As humans,
yes, sir,
and with the planet. And you know what I'm saying, it's causing a lot of who was just said that lady Katie Couric, I think it was last week. She was on talking about how many young people are dying from cancer below 50, young people under 50, they're dying. That she's like, this never happened before. And she's like, why is this happening? It's like, nigga, what you expect?
Right. And then just to add to my brother saying, it's just to reiterate and please continue, is that we even, and also Emmanuel maybe can appreciate this, is that from the religious context in most regards, and particularly Abrahamic faiths, and then as well as my brother just said there, King Herc's standpoint, talking points, both illustrate an ensuing degree, an acceleration almost, like it's going faster and faster in terms of how chaotic things are becoming. And so many have been left confused and bewildered. Confusion currently globally is at an all-time high. I think most would agree, given what we've seen on these television shows and on the news and in our own personal lives in some regards, in our friends and family and at our jobs and at schools or whatever, right? In our various relationships. At any rate, we know that for those who subscribe to law, universal law, right, that we see there's a new world order coming into play, and there's a one world ending and a world beginning, right? And so what we notice that there's some flip flopping. We see the weather patterns flip flopping. We see animals living outside of their natural habitat. Like we see animals supposed to be in the water on land, and we see land animals in water outside in cold areas. They're typically in warm areas.
Yeah, you see stars traveling more further up north.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm going somewhere with this, and we notice there's a lot of inversion being pushed in the human reality. We know that what's going on in the skies is connected inside as within, so without, into the inner, reflecting the backwards, upside down human reality, with augmented by the onset of AI. On top of that, it'll become more a compelling factor as we move forward in time. What does that mean? That means that this is why the weather patterns are fucked up and why all the animals everything's all out of whack, but namely the weather and the chaos, alluding to excessive chaos because everything that we're thinking is backwards and inside out. Surely that will be reflected externally. This is why the weather patterns are tore up, upside down, and inverted. Because it's reflecting the inner mentality of the global mind of the people. That's how beat up and effed up the people's minds are. So surely you would see hurricanes and clashing with super moons and all this. You would see all of this wildcat. It shows how sick the people are. And I'll just stop there.
Yeah, I see. I just wanted to bring that up because I think definitely the how the world is shaped and the direction that we're going to, and from the Western point of view, there is no limit. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just this idea of progress, progress. But you actually, where are you going? Where do we stop? It's like you don't stop. You just keep going. But we're running out of resources. So when do you stop? So that's why I was in a lot of things I say, it's like we have to put Western science on the back burner and get back to doing science the way our ancestors did, and because it's chaotic. It's what's going on is chaotic, man. And I'm done.
Yes. And I would speak to this waters running out. This, oh man, where do they stop with this? What we call false scarcity of resources. There's too many people on the planet consuming too much resources. There's not enough fresh air. There's not enough this. So we need to engineer that. We need to duplicate this in the lab. We need to get you to go off the grid, go more into the grid actually, because we need to clone this and clone that. See,
Yeah, we believe in the God. Yeah, we don't believe in the Georgia Guidestones.
And really fast after King J, we all gonna go around with our closing remarks.
Okay.
And then we gonna close it down.
Okay, I appreciate that. I forgot it's down at 1 o'clock. But yeah, just real quick on my closing, I'm gonna just share my screen.
I got you.
I appreciate that from you. All right, so here we go. So here's a quick comparison to the chart. So it says in the Aten is contrasting the Aten with the Ra. The physical is the Aten. The metaphysical is the Ra. The actual disk, the object itself, is the Aten. The deity or the being is Ra. The Aten is the actual celestial object that provides the heat, the light. Right. Ra represents the cosmos and fights the chaos. The body or the actual object is the Aten. The soul is Ra. I asked the question, so which one is the actual physical sun? It says if you are looking for the actual physical sun, the tangible, visible object in the sky, that is the Aten. In the Egyptian knowledge system, they made clear, modeling a distinction between the object and the energy. The Aten is the body. It is the literal sun disk. When an Egyptian looked up and saw the physical circle of light, they were looking at the Aten. It represents the sun as a physical source of light and heat. Ra is the person. Ra is the consciousness or the soul inhabiting that body. This is what it says here. It says, actually, in regards to it, it says when Akhenaten, who's called the heretic, shifted Egypt's religion, he performed a massive and blah. He shifted. He said he essentially told people to stop worshiping the personality or the spirit, which was Ra, and to only worship the actual physical sun disk, or the only actual worship the actual physical sun itself, which is the Aten. By focusing only on the Aten, he was moving towards a system that prioritized the observable physical phenomenon over the metaphysical. Yeah. If you can see it, touch it, and track its movement through the sky like a scientist, it's the Aten. If you are describing the intelligence that governs the day and fights the darkness, you're talking about Ra. So I just wanted to make that distinguishment when we're talking about something actually tangible and physical that we can observe in the physical sky, like a celestial object like the sun. We're talking about the object. We're talking about the Aten. When we're talking about anything metaphysical, some sort of cosmic, principle fighting, we're talking about Ra. So I'll end with that.
All right, most definitely. Oh, snaps, my bad. Hold on. Let me add Hurt back up here. So we're going to go around the panel. We're going to start with Hurt, and we're going to work our way on up. Go ahead, brother Hurt. Get it in there.
You know what? I just thought about something. Damn. I'm going to have to rewind this joint. I thought Pandemic said that he practiced Igbo and Yoruba, but yet he said he's an atheist. But I don't know. I got to rewind that joint. I could have sworn he said that, yo.
I anyway, say he used to, I believe, I'm not mistaken, maybe.
But no, because he was adamant. He was like, no, I practice this stuff.
He said something to the effect of you talking to somebody who lived this or something. He said to that effect. Something like that, right?
Like that. But yet you're atheist. I gotta rewind it. I'm like, you hold up, you contradict. I just thought about that.
I think he was saying that he was Igbo as that was part of his nationality.
Right. And then he made a change.
All right, I'm gonna rewind. I gotta rewind. I'm gonna see what he said. Anyway,
became an atheist.
That's how I perceived what he said.
Anyway, it's interesting. This is good conversations, you guys. That was a good. I thought the debate was interesting. Like I said before, it's really hard to disprove that that created when you're using the Abrahamic faith and when you're relying on that. But I think hey man, we had fun. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that I could have these conversations on the block when I'm hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't talk about this stuff, but I'll see you guys around. So next time, and keep it up. Hey, Humble, you still doing that? What's up with you and Leandre? Y'all still gonna do that debate?
Hey, I haven't heard nothing else from it. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get it in. I haven't heard nothing else from it though.
Okay. All right. I'm good. Oh, I wanted to ask King J, because you met a lecture. You said you studied meta, but I was just curious. Also, did you you also don't think that the people in Kemet didn't refer to themselves as black people? That's something I wanted to ask you. Wanted to talk to you about that as well. I'm just curious about that. But anyway, we can talk about it next time. But some other time, guys, I see you guys. Have a good night. Yeah, we had some fun, man.
For sure, King Herc, man. Appreciate you, man.
All right, go ahead, brother Emmanuel. I got that. We'll come back to him. Go ahead, brother Sadiq. Close us out.
Family. Man, appreciate you, my brother Humble, holding it down, catching bodies, throwing strays, letting it land where the chips may, in customary fashion. It's always a pleasure, man. Up here with the fam. You know how I love it. Wouldn't have it no other way. Having the good intense debate, even side debates is always nice to keep our weapons sharp as we finish this call and return to our individual normal lives as black males. We public enemy number one, given these rough racial climates, the times we're living in. A racial climate now is likened to almost 1940s, 1950 America, as they look to reincorporate a new revise, almost like a digital Jim Crow 2.0. These exercises we're dealing with on here, mental exercises, is a must, in my opinion, right? And I think we're in the right place at the right time, family. And I don't think there's no losers at all on these conversations, man. And I appreciate the time on here with the fam. I look forward to talking with the fam again next time, man. And I appreciate all you guys, man. Love all you guys, man. And I want you guys to have a great night, man. Stay blessed.
We appreciate you, brother Sadiq. We appreciate you. Go ahead, debate 101.
Yeah, this was interesting. I'm so glad I came back and everything. I've been busy with my coding and everything. Trying to make this shit pop off. But still, yeah, this was interesting. This was interesting, and I'm glad to be back. Glad to get this kind of mental exercise. And like you said, it's not like you can go on the block and talk to anybody like this. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get ignorance, and that's not what I'm here for. You feel me?
Right. We appreciate you, brother Debate. We appreciate you. We moving right along to brother Omar. What's up, brother Omar? Let's see if he there. Omar, you there, Brody? Oh no. All right, we gonna move right along to King J.
Yeah, I mean, I love what the brother Sadiq Ross said.
I'm here.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
I'm here.
Give your close out, brother Omar. Give your close out.
I love what the brother Sadiq Ross said. I'm here. Hold on, man. Let me turn down my TV. I was up in there throwing darts, man, in my garage. Hold on. So I don't get that reverb back.
Yeah.
I was up in there throwing darts. Yeah, we was playing 501. I got some of my peoples over here. Yeah. We was playing 501 on the darts. My garage. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I already know. You saw what I put up in there, Humble. Mm-hmm. Even though you my brother, I wanted to see if you wanted to pick up where we left off at. You get 3 minutes and I get 3 minutes. Where we left off at. It's up to you. I know you're running the panel, and I know because I'm on the West Coast, and I know back out east, y'all brothers 3 hours ahead of me. So
yeah,
we can shoot a quick 3 minutes for you, 3 minutes for me, or we can do a little something tomorrow, but it's up to you, brother.
We're gonna do a little something tomorrow.
I respect that. You know what? I don't really have nothing to say. Shalom, everybody. We'll do it tomorrow, Humble. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, A1. Shalom to my guy, GD and Capone. Even shalom to King J. The Bat. Emmanuel. Even shalom to... Nah. Shalom, Sadiq Ra. And even shalom to Hercules. Much respect to y'all, brothers. We'll get it in tomorrow.
For sure.
We'll get into tomorrow, brother.
It's on you, brother.
Say no
King
more.
J, it's on you.
Yeah, just real quick, I definitely loved what the brother Sadiq Ross said. No matter our ideologies or how much we get into it with steel, definitely sharpen steel. So it's important that we stay sharp so that when we get off these platforms and go into our individual perspective lives, that we are definitely prepared to, for what comes before us. So I definitely appreciate all you brothers on the platform. Until next time.
Most definitely.
Likewise, brother.
Capone, you there, Capone?
Peace to you, brother.
Capone. All right. Well, y'all know what's up to me now, and I'm gonna close this out. First and foremost, y'all know I want to give a big shout out to brother A1 and Titans Debate League for always giving me the opportunity, for even putting their trust in me to make things like this happen. I next want to give a shout out to everybody on the panel, King J, brother Hurt, Emmanuel, Sadiq, the Debate 101, Capone, everybody else that was up here. I love this. See, this is my element, man. Brother Capone, no. Just keep doing what y'all doing. Just like King J said, man, still sharp and still. That's my brother. I love the competitiveness. I love, forcing us to look things up, when we hop off, go do our research. That's what it's all about. We have to force each other to do our research. If we out here and we talking about leading the next generation and educating the next generation, educating people who really are unaware, then we got to make sure that we keep ourselves in check. You see what I'm saying? And we also have to make sure that we're around others that's going to keep us on our square. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is a beautiful thing. I want to shout out the comments, man. I love y'all engagement. We love y'all, having your own little side conversations. We love y'all commenting on the panel, good, bad, or indifferent. Keep putting them engagements in. Keep sharing alive. Keep thumbs up in the video. We here because of y'all. We do what we do because y'all like to see what y'all like to see. And with that, I'm gonna close out with some I'm gonna say 3 ads, and then that's it for the night, family. Let's get it.
Attention all debate fans. You've been watching, you've been arguing, you've been picking sides. But now it's time to level up. From this point forward, all debates on this platform are going members only. That means the hottest clashes, the wildest arguments, and your favorite personalities going head to head will only be available to subscribers. You want real scholarship, you want the smoke, you want the unfiltered action, then don't get left outside looking in. Sign up today for as low as $3.99 and get full access to every debate, every moment, every night. Let's pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it. Let's be real for a second. Some of you claim you're the best debaters in the game, but every week you're still arguing for free. You study, you prepare, you show up, you give them viral moments, and the platform gets paid, not you. That's not competition, that's exploitation. Some leagues built their entire reputation off the backs of debaters they never intended to compensate. Clips, views, donations, super chats, and the people creating the content still walking away with nothing. Over here, we don't play that game. We are one of the only debate leagues actually paying debaters, reinvesting back into the community. Because if your arguments generate value, you deserve value. So here's the reality check. If you're really the monster you claim to be, if your research research is really as sharp as you say, if you really think you could dominate any room, then prove it. And here's where the stakes are real. Warriors don't fight exhibitions forever. They fight where the prize is. So you have a choice. Stay comfortable debating for exposure, building someone else's empire, or come step into the arena where serious debaters get respect and paid. This isn't charity. This is combat. In the arena of ideas, words are weapons. Confidence is your armor, and every Titan needs their gear. From the Titans Debate League comes a movement born from energy, faith, and power. Custom debater tees, spiritual wear, and PVO gear guaranteed to uplift your spirit and elevate your mindset. This isn't just fashion, it's identity, it's purpose, it's power. Join the movement, step into the arena. Shop now at ColiseumOfArguments.com and wear what Titans believe in.
Most definitely. Let's get into it. Brother A1 said he'd be up here in a second. He just got back. So we're going to wait for him to get up here. Man, listen, man. Y'all keep me sharp, man.
You gotta be.
I really appreciate it. And that's why I always tell people, man, listen, when I'm up here doing what I do, don't take none of this offensive. You know, we just all talk about the information. Y'all see how look, me and Uncle was talking, and Uncle was like, yeah, man, you gotta calm down. I said, yo, it's your fault I'm like this. And you was out here first wilding out on niggas. I'm like, yeah, that's how we get the message across. But no, all good brothers, man. Good brothers. I also wanted to dive into a little bit earlier that we didn't get to talk about. Today I got to go to the Walters Art Museum, me and my wife. I got some amazing pictures I'm gonna be dropping in the back chat in the Coliseum. We got some Kemetic pictures. We got some ancient Egyptians Kemetic pictures. We got some for all of the Hebrew Israelites. We got some Semitic pictures in there. We got some early pictures of the figurines of El and Bayal and Asherah. Hey man, I'm gonna be dropping some stuff in there. My whole goal is by next year. By this time next year, I should be going to that same. Museum, and I want to give a tour this time next year. I should be proficient in the things in there. I swear as though I could go in there and give a tour. See, y'all make me do stuff like that, man. Listen, this is why I appreciate these platforms, man, because y'all really make me get out here and want to do stuff like that. Like, you know, I hear about King, I hear about Massa Herc, I hear about Assam Kai, I hear about, you know, I hear about Brother Unc, and you know, they be out here in a presentation. Hold on one second, y'all. And they be out here, you know, in the museums doing presentations, you know, actually talking to people about this information. And so that's why I'm headed. You know, that's why I'm headed. We waiting for you, brother A1. We waiting for you. Debate, you still here?
I'm here. I'm right here.
So what's some of your takes on tonight's show? How you feel about tonight's show?
It was wild because like it did start getting all over the place, but then it got right back into it went to metaphysics, the cosmology, the Egyptology. It was going all over. Yeah, and right back to theology. It was all good.
And you know, it goes back to that good debate that we was watching. When it comes to God, is it just faith or is there any proof? You know what I'm saying? And that's why
it's wild that the math that was used in order to basically, it was supposed to be used. I don't really know how to put it. Like it was created for God, but now it's used to disprove that He exists.
And I look at it like this, man. And this is why even the later on conversations had to come, because our people, our ancient people, before we had the concept of this thing we call the God, they were just simply trying to explain the natural world around them. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't necessarily out here trying to believe in nothing invisible that they couldn't prove. They was looking at things and wondering, wow, what is this? What is that? How do this function? How do that function? How can we take advantage of this? How
I
can
would
we
beg
do
to
this?
differ just a little bit, because a lot of civilizations, even though, like, to some people, because they don't understand, they might say, "Oh, they primitive" or whatever. A lot of them, a lot of ancient civilizations had a real good grasp on science. So it wasn't like, how does this? It was like, even though they didn't all use the same math or whatever the case may be.
No, but that's the point I was making. Debate was when they were asking, they were approaching the world from a scientific view. You see what I'm saying?
No, what I'm saying is they had science, but most of them also had God. So like, it's just how it was.
Right, and that was the thing about so that's what me and Capone, and that's where I feel like that's where I feel like Pan actually hit the nail on the head, right? Because we over here in the West and in the USA only call other cultures gods because of what we know about religion over here. You see what I'm saying?
I disagree with that.
When you get a intrinsic understanding into their culture, then you'll really realize that they just like the ancients, they're trying to explain the natural world around them. They're not over here trying to worship in God. That's why when he brought out Buddhism and he brought out Hinduism and he was explaining how there was no God in these fields of these practices of life, then I was like, okay, he got something. Because when on the outside looking in, it's easy to say, oh, these people worship Brahma, these people worship Vishnu, these people worship Buddha, these people worship these people. But it's because you don't understand, you're not in their culture. But once you get to studying their culture, then you'll understand that, oh, Shiva is literally the dysfunction and resurrector, basically Ma'at. He's literally that function of reality. He's not the controller of this. He's not all of that language is religious language. When you get into what it is, then you realize, and there's a difference. This is what, man, I really wanted Brother Capone to understand. There's a difference from the God of writing to the embodiment of intelligence. You see what I'm saying? That there's a difference there. So Thoth didn't become the god of writing until the Greeks came and merged them with Hermes. But before that, Thoth or Jehudi was literally the embodiment of intelligence. And so why that's important is because it lets us know, while we had a concept of intelligence, there just wasn't a tangible form for us to depict it. So we had to come up with one. But that's like everything. You see what I'm saying? When we deal with Ma'at, there is no tangible way for us to show Ma'at, but we can come up with a picture, right? What's important and what do we see that ground those type of principles? That's what we're going to apply to her.
Hold on, time out. But you can say that. You can say the same thing about the Abrahamic God.
No,
because you can't. Okay, God. All right, the Abrahamic God has no physical shape or whatever the case may be, but they got this old man with his hand out, this white old man with a beard with his hand out, and he's supposed to represent God.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like
the difference there is the Kemetic people understand this is symbolism. Religious people really think that's what God looked like.
Nah, I ain't. Yeah,
Ask anybody, ask any religious person of the Abrahamic faith, any real religious person, because you know we got some fake religious people. They just scared to go to hell, so they just continue the Bible. So you ask them, they got their own theories, but they read the Bible. But ask any real religious person, what is God, a man or a woman? I bet you they say a man, because they really believe God is a man. In the Kemetic tradition, nobody believes Jehudi is a real man. Nobody believes Ra is a man. Nobody believes Ma'at is a woman. No, that's not how that works.
I really have to. I say a man because all of the text that all the text of my religion say he. But I'm not sure if that means he necessary, because he doesn't, like, when I look at a father, you know, there's so many layers to what a father is, and you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them match up to the attributes that, I mean, of course, nobody's going to be on the level of Allah, but like,
right,
you know, protector, you know, stuff like that. You know, there's stuff that, you know, evolves, and so like the stuff that you wouldn't expect. Like, you don't expect your woman to be the protector, or you know what I mean?
Right. Hold on, really fast, brother. A1, is you in the building? Are you coming up, or what's up? I don't know if A1 in the comments. I don't know if
you know some of the stuff. You know the stuff that you know you wouldn't expect that from your lady. You expect that from the man, and like like the man is the one that takes, you know, all that stuff. Like is stuff that like. So that's why. And I don't know if like God. The way that I really look at God,
right?
And some people might, like I said, some of the ways I look a little bit different than the average Muslim or whatever the case may be. So they might be like, you're not a real Muslim or whatever the case may be. I really don't care what people say, but I look at God as, I feel like calling him a man is degrading, actually, though. Right. You feel me? I feel like calling him an entity is degrading.
But see, now we debate really fast. You a Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and that's still Abrahamic, and I see where you coming from, because y'all really don't give God a gender in y'all religion. You see what I'm saying? But I'm glad I caught that you was a Muslim, because I thought you was going to say you was a Christian or something. Because I was going to say, you see, that's what I mean by when I say the religious people they come up with their own thing. Like there's people out here like, yeah, I'm a Hebrew, or yeah, I'm a Christian, and when we see God and He in the Bible, it's like, yeah, but you know, we don't put that, we don't subscribe that. That's da 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 da. But then when you ask real Christians and real Hebrews, they really think God is a man. Now that's different when it comes to Islam, because Islam don't ascribe a gender to God. Islam
it says he sometimes in there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He is in there like a couple times.
No. He is in there, but that's only to identify the patriarchal role.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Not to determine his gender.
that's what I was saying. Like, I
will give Islam that credit. They don't put a gender on God. When you do see he in the Quran, it do signifies the fact that it's just the patriarchal role that God played. Doesn't mean that he's really a man.
And that's what I tell people who be like, oh, Jesus was the son of God. Jesus was the son of God. I say, and then you have the Muslims say, no, Jesus wasn't. I said, well, what if both of y'all are right? What if God is the father of all creation and Jesus was just one of those creations? Then both of them mad at me after that.
But it makes sense, and this is why, while I often don't agree with the Islamic faith, I do understand the Islamic faith in certain practices, right? When they don't subscribe agenda to God, that makes sense to me. Why would I have to subscribe agenda to something that is above gender?
Exactly.
You said now to do it for people to understand, like we just talking in a patriarchal way to understand rank and things of that nature. Okay, we understand that symbology, but to physically say that this is what this represents, no, I wouldn't have to do that because we understand that God is outside of all of this. So I do get them with that point. I do get what else? What else? Now something else. When it comes to like for instance, right? Christianity, a Christian is someone who follows Christ. In Islam,
Hold on. Come on, brother.
Huh? Oh,
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh yeah. In Islam, a Muslim is someone of peace. So whereas though a Christian or a Christian group is cut off from the rest of what humanity, basically exclusive, Islam is inclusive because anybody could be a Muslim, right? It doesn't really mean that, hey, you following my ways is you're a peaceful person, right? It's just again, this is the issue I have to push back with the real religious Muslims, right? When they try to say, no, when you are a Muslim, then you are someone who worships Allah, do this, do that. No, when you're a Muslim, you're someone of peace. There was many people out here, that matter of fact, I apologize. Yeah, someone who's a Muslim is the one of peace. Islam is anything that submits to the will of even that type of language, right? Anything that submits to the will of the Creator, right? That makes sense. Everything has to submit to forces beyond our capabilities, right? So naturally, we submit to those forces. Now, I push back on it because it get a little religious, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But when it comes to the natural order of things, it makes sense, right? Hey, we got something called the cycle of life. I don't think Brother A1 is popping up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Hey, Brother Debate, that was a great, segue. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate everybody in the building. I'm gonna close it down until next time. We most definitely coming back here tomorrow. Let's get it in, y'all. I see y'all. Humble out.
Bet.